So when we talk about Akai every time, it's not like it is not anything. It is something that can do anything, can even bring children from the other world into this physical world. Sena's mother gave birth to the first child. She got pregnant with the first child, Albert, but she had miscarriage. Then she had twins who were called Angela and Angelica. They also had a miscarriage. So they said that Chico will not born again. The doctors said there's no possible that she will give birth again. So when she was worried, we were all worried. So I asked Akai. Akai said no, she will born. So we should just not listen to what the doctors were saying. So somewhere along the way we went to the hospital. They said, oh, no, the baby will not be okay, so they should do abortion. Because otherwise the child will be a Down syndrome child. Then I asked Akai said I shouldn't mind the doctors. So we kept going. The center was just like this bottle. Something small like this. And they gave birth to him. So it was too small, it was premature. So they put him inside the incubator. Because he could not eat, they put the plaster and all this over his eyes and everything. So they have to feed him through the nose. And he was eating only 4 cc. You know 4 cc? It's like how the mouse will eat. We kept praying. I can't say I shouldn't worry. It will be okay. And finally, today, that is Senna we are seeing. So I don't know what the God said Senna we are seeing. So I don't know what the gods and the spirits wanted him to come and do in this world. They know what the plan they have for him. So today he is celebrating his 27 years. So I am wishing him more years so that he can do the work of the ancestors and the spirits. So Akai had been a very powerful spirit. Here, not getting any question or anything. The way it is to guide us and protect us from whatever is negative and that may destroy us. So when we wake up in the morning before we go out in the day, we normally will pour libation to our ancestors and to our deities and the voodoos and the spirits that are around us, that they should protect us through the day, bring us out to the public, and bring us back peacefully home. So when you come back home peacefully, I think the best is after taking a shower and washing down all the negative energies that might have come across your own vibration or waves. You can pour libation again to your ancestors or deities to say thank you for bringing you back home. I think this simple method should be enough to keep renewing your energy each time that you go out and come back home. This should be enough. But then as you grow in the spirituality and you have access to herbs, especially the herbs that I have taught, one of them, the Avenia, which is the boundary tree, and then I think, what is the botanical name that they mentioned earlier? Right? Yes. Senna, give me that.
Nubodia leaves.
Okay, there's a name. The Nibodia levi is most common herb that our Ewe people use to cleanse themselves. But if you don't have any of those herbs around you, you can use charcoal and salt in your water, and then soak your water, a bucket of water or a container of water that has charcoal and salt in it.
the best would be rock salt. The rock salt from which is either the sea salt or the salt from the that is dug in the mines. So when you have that, you can just put them, and when you come back, you bath with after taking normal bath with soap and everything, you use that charcoal and salt water to rinse yourself so you can cleanse yourself out of some negative energies that may follow you. So I think the Nigimites, I think that is what you should be doing. That's the easiest that I can tell, because we here we have so many herbs that we have access to. But where you may be, you may not have access to the herbs. Yeah, so even when I mention some herbs, it will be very difficult for you to come across. But this is what I've just told now will be the best way to do. And then we have Togbe Jigbeza.
Scientific knowledge applied for some practical purpose. And afar, as you were mentioning, a person can be anywhere in the world and can speak any language in the world, and you can consult afar. And if you know how to decode the code of afar, you'll be able to get the solution. Whether you are a Bokor, you are a lawyer, you are a doctor, even a computer scientist, or me as a scholar, if you consult afar, afar will be able to give you a practical solution to how you'll be able to solve that problem. And afar doesn't even use electricity. Afar can take just maybe one duck or one chicken in a year, and you do thousands of readings. And I see that as one of the most green technologies possible, because it doesn't destroy the environment. It doesn't just, use carbon footprints or exhume gases into the environment, but it is practically helping people all over the world for those who know how to use it and really can decode it, right? And that's why it's more than just a religion. A lot of people have seen African traditions or African spirituality or voodoo only from the perspective of pure spirituality or pure religion. But the knowledge systems that are in these systems are more than just religion or spirituality. Because, for example, our herbal medicine, these are all scientific things. If the Chinese people consider their indigenous herbal wisdom as science and have been able to develop it now that traditional Chinese medicine is everywhere, acupuncture is everywhere, then voodoo knowledge is also scientific knowledge and not just religious knowledge, as many people believe.
Yeah, yeah, that's very, very true, Sena, and thank you for that. But even if you are talking about technology, what is the base of technology? We may say that today's base of technology is based on computer. And if you go into the computer is based on a binary 12121012 on that base, and that's the base of AFA, which has been around for a millennia before computer just came recently. And that's the same thing AFA still uses today. And the divination chain, when you put your money there, whatever you spoke on it, nobody has heard it. But when the divination chain went across it, it's just scanning it and picking information and later comes out. So it's also a technology, but it is not using a physical electronic gadget, so people may not call it technology. That's why I was saying that yesterday's spirituality becomes today's science. Because what was used in spirituality long ago, when it has been, people have find means to use devices and gadgets to materialize it, then they call it science and technology. But it has always been there. Our people used to have what is today called television, but it is not television for the public as such. Our ancestors will just fetch water and look into the water, and they will be able to connect to another part of the world or another part of their community and be able to communicate and then bring that one. So when you go into a movie like there's another movie where you see that Europeans also can transport you from one place to another through their spirituality in the past. And it is only now today these things have been done, and electronic gadgets or devices have been made so we can see it, even though the television station may be far away somewhere. An antenna will be able to pick the waves and translate them into pictures, which our ancestors were also doing by being able to look into water, and somebody also having a spiritual antenna somewhere can pick that waves and then translate it, and they both can communicate just looking into a calabash of water. That's also technology. But then we call it spirituality. So that's why I'm saying yesterday's spirituality becomes today's technology or science, whatever you call it.
Thank you. That was very, very, very enlightening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Zee. Thank you very much. And we have Vivian Bakar here. Please, Papa, do you know what it means when you are washing your clothes and someone you are not related to added his clothes to your own? Is this in a dream? Vivian, was it in a dream that you were washing your clothes and somebody added their own clothes that you are not related to? So clarify that for me. On the physical plane, I don't see what it meant, but on the spiritual plane, or even in this, it means someone is adding their dirtiness to your dirtiness. Maybe that's what I can say. Something, because dirty clothes are hidden in there. And Kabbalah to me is very practical if you know how to use it. So many people can read the books and they may not know how to use it. But for us, my teachers have even taught me how to use certain things from the Kabbalah and mix it with our traditional herbal system, and we apply them and they work. So I would suppose that the Kabbalah is the Jewish version of Voodoo, I may say so. How potent is it? It is very potent. I demonstrate it every time in my shrine with Kabbalah and Voodoo, all this mixed together. Sometimes when it becomes necessary, I teach my students, people who are learning directly from me. And they can also experience it and sometimes materialize them if they want. So Christians use it too, right? Maybe Christianity is a very big field. So when you say Christians use it, you may be right in some ways, because majority of Christians are stupid. I'm sorry to say so, in the sense that they are not ready to learn anything new. So they just learn what their teachers taught them and do not want to expose. A lot of Christians don't know that there is Kabbalah, that is like the base of Christianity. A lot of people do not know. So, moment you start to talk about Kabbalah or teach anything from Kabbalistic, this thing, people begin to look at you as a devil's advocate, and they've forgotten that the base of the Bible of today, base of Christianity today, was upon the Kabbalah of the Hebrew Kabbalah or the Jewish Kabbalah, whichever way you call it. Why isn't that the Jews are not Christians? Don't you see that when they are doing the what is the name of this Jewish tradition? Is it the one that they use the chicken to keep something? I forgot the name. But somebody will remind me. Somebody, Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur.
The Yom Kippur, which is the Jewish version of, is a Kabbalistic. They will use the chicken to wrap all your body, and then they slaughter the chicken. By doing so, in Yom Kippur, they're using that one to cleanse you, and then they slaughter the chicken, and then the chicken is killed. And it is believed in Kabbalah, also in Jewish tradition, that it cleanses you from your bad deeds. And then our ancestors also, whenever you are in a situation and they realize that the only way to get you out of that situation is to use a chicken to go around your body and then slaughter the chicken and give it to some voodoo or even just on the ground, and then it takes away that problem that has been chasing you. So, where did the Jews learn it from? Where did every and other African traditionalists learn that one from? We didn't learn from the Jews. So, it is a form of a ritual that is a cleansing ritual, and it is still done today by the Jews. But how many Christians have you ever seen using chicken to go around their body? They will say that is devilish. So a lot of Christians do not even know much about the beginning of Christianity. So when you talk about Christians, we are just talking about a bunch of people who are confused and they don't know what they are doing. So yes, you may be right that Christians do it. Christian, maybe some Christian who have learned so much about other things may do it. Yeah. But then, okay, you see, we call what the people call angels and archangels in Voodoo. We call them what people call archangels and angels. We in Eve or Voodoo, we call them a tron, Bokor, Voodoo, or Maupe Dollar. Mau Dollar means God's servant, or the people that God has sent to serve mankind. And the deities, a throne, and all these things are things that have been sent or are part of God that are manifested to us in our every tradition over centuries and millions or over a millennia, whatever, to teach our people how to relate to God. Even long before Christianity came, our people know God and they call the name God Mau. And then they have the Trinity in Mau, which means there are three different deities or gods that form Godhood, which is Mauga Sobo Lisa, Mauga Kiti Kata, Mauga Ese. So these three are what forms the three angles or the triangle of the Ave cosmology. So these are all called Mau or Maugans. And under these Maugans are other deities, thrones, Mami, Hebiaso. Just mention them. And they are all believed to be a whole set of energies that form what God is. So the angels, maybe Hebiaso can be an angel of fire, the angel of thunder, or whatever. And then our people will just call it a voodoo or a throne or a deity. And then they try to follow its ways and then they test it. And if it works for them, they stick to it. So the Aves, whatever people are calling angels and archangels and all these things, we don't have them. We have a throne and voodoo and mamiwata and all kind of things in our culture, and that's what we know. And that's how God has been relating to us until the white man came and told our people that what they were doing was wrong, so they should follow the white names. Why did the Arab man in Israel or from that place get the name Joseph? Joseph is a English name, right? Where did they get the name James from? James is an English name. So are you telling me that the people who are living in the desert are having these English names? Let's think again. I'm even happier with the Islamic one. At least if they say Yusufu, they are calling it in Arabic name, in their own language. So if Yusuf has become Joseph, why did the Englishman give their name to people who were living on that land where they have no relationship with England whatsoever, or with Europe whatsoever? Think about it. But you see, because we are all stupid in one way or the other, we don't even ask questions. Somebody living in the desert is called Simon. From where? And then these same names, you find them in Europe. How? Think about it. If the Europeans decide to tell you that they are God, we believe them. Totobedente, Abakpe, Luluti, Zubo, Lu, Ajima, Ogboju, Pe Odonchalo, Pe Nkome, Valenti Fafa Memfa, Alo Jona Pefu, Ago Sapate Meyo, Atigeri Meyo, Goro Vodu Meyo, Ken, Alafia. So that is the other incantation of Jopata, where that one we invoke Jopata, and it gave us that second stance of its incantation. It was not given to us by the people who gave us Jopata. They only gave us the first part, but this one was given to us by Jopata itself.
Papa, so please, I have a question on this topic of what Shamba asked about, that the Ewe people learned Kudu like Goro Kudu from Hausa people or people who are northern people compared to the Ewe people.
Yeah.
And today, do those northern people still use Goro Kudu, or is it appropriate to say that Ewe people kind of upgraded Goro Kudu and made it something that is more powerful? Because I remember some bullets were saying something like 9 people said they don't have Goro Kudu anymore, but Ewe people have it.
Yeah, it is very possible that people in the northern part may not have Goro Voodoo as it is in today, but it's also possible.
So when we talk about Akai every time, it's not like it is not anything. It is something that can do anything. Can even bring children from the other world into this physical world. Sena's mother gave birth to the first child. She got pregnant with the first child, Albert, but she had miscarriage. Then she had twins who were called Angela and Angelica. They also had a miscarriage. So they said that Chico will not born again. The doctors said there is no possible that she will give birth again. So with the first child, she was worried. We were all worried. But she had miscarriage. So I asked Akai, Akai said no. Then she had twins who were called Angela and Angelica. They also had somewhere along. They said that Chico will not born. Somewhere along the doctors said it's not possible. So that baby will not be okay to do abortion. So with the first child, I'm worried from child. We were all worried. Then I asked Akai, so I asked Akai, then she had twins who were called Angela and Angelica. They also had somewhere along. They said that Chico will not born. Somewhere along the doctors was premature. Possible. So that baby will not be able to do abortion. The first boy down was not from child. We were all worried. Then she had twins. And he was somewhere along. They said that Chico will not born. Somewhere along it was premature. So that baby will not be able to today. That is the first boy down. So I don't know what so I don't know what he was somewhere along. They said that Chico will not born. Somewhere along was premature. More years today, that is first going down. So I don't know what so I don't know what more years today, that is first going down. So I don't know what so I don't know more years today, that is first going down. So I don't know what
And Kabbalah to me is very practical if you know how to use it. So many people can read the books and they may not know how to use it. But for us, my teachers have even taught me how to use certain things from the Kabbalah and mix it with our traditional herbal system, and we apply them and they work. So I would suppose that the Kabbalah is the Jewish version of Voodoo, I may say so. How potent is it? It is very potent. I demonstrate it every time in my shrine with Kabbalah and Voodoo, all this mixed together. Sometimes when it becomes necessary, I teach my students, people who are learning directly from me. And they can also experience it and sometimes materialize them if they want. The Christians use it too, right? Maybe Christianity is a very big field. So when you say Christians use it, you may be right in some ways because majority of Christians are stupid. I'm sorry to say so, in the sense that they are not ready to learn anything new. So they just learn what their teachers taught them and do not want to expose. A lot of Christians don't know that there is Kabbalah. That is like the base of Christianity. A lot of people do not know. So the moment you start to talk about Kabbalah or teach anything from Kabbalistic this people begin to look at you as a devil's advocate, and they've forgotten that the base of the Bible of today, base of Christianity today, was upon the Kabbalah of the Hebrew Kabbalah or the Jewish Kabbalah, whichever way you call it. Why isn't that the Jews are not Christians? Don't you see that when they are doing the what is the name of this Jewish tradition? Is it the one that they use the chicken to keep something? I forgot the name. But somebody will remind me. Somebody, Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur.
The Yom Kippur, which is the Jewish version of, is a Kabbalistic. They use the chicken to wrap all your body, and then they slaughter the chicken. By doing so, in Yom Kippur, they're using that one to cleanse you, and then they slaughter the chicken, and then the chicken is killed. And it is believed in Kabbalah, also in Jewish tradition, that it cleanses you from your bad deeds. And then our ancestors also, whenever you are in a situation and they realize that the only way to get you out of that situation is to use a chicken to go around your body and then slaughter the chicken and give it to some voodoo or even just on the ground, and then it takes away that problem that is been chasing you. So where did the Jews learn it from? Where did every and other African traditionalists learn that one from? We didn't learn from the Jews. So it is a form of a ritual that is a cleansing ritual, and it is still done today by the Jews. But how many Christians have you ever seen using chicken to go around their body? They will say that is devilish. So a lot of Christians do not even know much about the beginning of Christianity. So when you talk about Christians, we are just talking about a bunch of people who are confused and they don't know what they are doing. So yes, you may be right that Christians do it. Christian, maybe some Christian who have learned so much about other things may do it. But then, okay, you see, we call what the people call angels and archangels in Voodoo. We call them what people call archangels and angels. We in Eve or Voodoo, we call them a tron, Bokor, Voodoo, or Maupe Dollar. Mau Dollar means God's servant, or the people that God has sent to serve mankind. And the deities, a throne, and all these things are things that have been sent or are part of God that have manifested to us in our every tradition over centuries and millions or over a millennia, whatever, to teach our people how to relate to God. Even long before Christianity came, our people know God and they call the name God Mau. And then they have the Trinity in Mau, which means there are three different deities or gods that form Godhood, which is Mauga Sobo Lisa, Mauga Kiti Kata, Mauga Ese. So these three are what forms the three angles or the triangle of the Ave cosmology. So these are all called Mau or Maugans. And under these Maugans are other deities, thrones, Mami, Hebiaso. Just mention them. And they are all believed to be a whole set of energies that form what God is. So the angels, maybe Hebiaso can be an angel of fire, the angel of thunder, or whatever. And then our people will just call it a voodoo, or a throne, or a deity. And then they try to follow its ways, and then they test it, and if it works for them, they stick to it. So the Aves, whatever people are calling angels and archangels and all these things, we don't have them. We have a throne and voodoo and mamiwata and all kind of things in our culture, and that's what we know. And that's how God has been relating to us until the white man came and told our people that what they were doing was wrong, so they should follow the white names. Why did the Arab man in Israel or from that place get the name Joseph? Joseph is a English name, right? Where did they get the name James from? James is an English name. So are you telling me that the people who have lived in the desert are having these English names? Let's think again. I'm even happier with the Islamic one. At least if they say Yusufu, they are calling it in Arabic name, in their own language. So if Yusuf has become Joseph, why did the Englishman give their name to people who were living on that land where they have no relationship with England whatsoever, or with Europe whatsoever? Think about it. But you see, because we are all stupid in one way or the other, we don't even ask questions. Somebody living in the desert is called Simon. From where? And then these same names, you find them in Europe. How? Think about it. If the European decide to tell you that they are their God, we believe them. Totobedente, Avape, Luluti, Zubo, Lu, Ajima, Ogboju, Pe Odon Chalo, Pe Nkome, Valenti Fafa Menva, Alo Jona Pefu, Ago Sapate Meyo, Atigeri Meyo, Goro Vodu Meyo, Ken, Alafia. So that is the other incantation of Jopata, where that one we invoke Jopata, and it gave us that second stance of its incantation. It was not given to us by the people who gave us Jopata. They only gave us the first part, but this one was given to us by Jopata itself.
Papa, so please, I have a question on this topic of what Shamba asked about that the Ewe people learned Kudu like Guru Kudu from Hausa people or people who are northern people compared to the Ewe people.
Yeah.
And today, do those northern people still use Guru Kudu, or is it appropriate to say that Ewe people kind of upgraded Guru Kudu and made it something that is more powerful? Because I remember Tom Bullet was saying something like, now people said they don't have Guru Kudu anymore, but Ewe people have it.
Yeah, it is very possible that people in the northern part may not have Goro Voodoo as it is in today, but it's also possible that they have it. They may not call it Goro Voodoo. They may give a different name for it because we, the Aves, call the BC, which BC is what Aves call kola nut. But the Hausas call kola nut guru. Okay? Are you understanding, Senna?
Yes, Papa. Thank you.
So the word for kola nut in Ewe is bisi. But then the Hausas call it goro. So when our people got that voodoo, I believe very strongly, the people said they have to give goro to the voodoo as its appeasement, or if you want to pray to it, you must offer goro. So our people begin to call the voodoo goro voodoo because that voodoo you have to give goro. So it became the name Goro Voodoo, Goro Voodoo, Goro Voodoo. So the Northerners may have another name for it. They may also call it Goro Voodoo, or they may call a different name for it. Take, for instance, not only Goro Voodoo, Atigeri. Tigeri is the main name, Tigeri, and it's also from the north. And it's also a very powerful voodoo of the Northerners. I don't know so much about its working, but I know my grandfathers on my mother's uncles. They had them when I was growing up in the village, but I didn't grow up to meet them before they died, so there was nothing I learned from them as far as Tigeri is concerned. The Tigeri is the name from the north, but when it came to every land, they don't call it Tigeri anymore. We call it Atigali. Are you understanding?
Yes, but the name changed.
The name changed to Atigali. So the Northerners call it Tigeri, but our people call it Atigali. Atigali Vodou, or Atigali Bobo, or a Tron. Atigali Tron. So that is how it is called in our area. And it was also a Northern spirit. And today it is still very active in some Ebe lands. And I think Nana Kokosachi, Nana Kokosachi is seriously learning about Tigeri and how to work it to help people and help himself and other people. So that's what he's really studying. But inside my Jokpata, there is Tigeri. Inside our Jokpata, Tigeri is inside. So we don't have a Tigeri as an individual voodoo, but we have it in combination of all these powerful voodoos of Ghana, the northern Ghana, northern Africa, and Evan land, all combined together inside Jokpata. So I don't need to set up a Tigeri, a separate Tigeri shrine to be able to invoke Tigeri to work for me. I don't need to set up a complete a shrine of Alafia or to set up a complete shrine of Sapata or all these things for them to be able to work for me because they are all working together as a team inside Jopata. That's the difference between Jopata. That's why I'm saying nobody has Jopata in every land anymore. Except that we have it. So the Goro Voodoo as it came, maybe people still have it in the north because we cannot go to every village in the north to find out where the Goro Voodoo is. But surely when it came from the north, somebody will still have it, but we may not know where. But if we make research, we will surely come to it somewhere because it cannot totally vanish from the north because that's the areas are taking it. No, but Tigiri is still in the north, so Goro Voodoo or the areas are calling it Kweto, as in Togo. Not even and people were saying that Kweto, Kweto the car actually came from Ghana to Togo. So they have so many confusion and challenges and all arguments about it. I'm not interested where it came from, where it doesn't come from. When you, if it is spirit is working for you, that's what matters. And if the spirit wants you to know where it came from, it will tell you. It eats food, the kind of food it eats, the kind of things you present to it will tell you where it is coming from. And mind you, spirits are universal. They don't belong to anybody. There may be some group of people who might have discovered them first or start working with them first, and they assume such cultures as their own. But as they move on, they continue working and also adopt and adapt to other cultures into which they have been brought to. So Heba is saying, what is it good for? Which was an attack me, which I didn't know. And then they said, thank you. I have to go. Thank you for all your help. Have a blessed day. Same to you, Heba. We are very grateful. That was on West Africa. It belongs. No. Godri is a universal energy. When it comes to you, it will adapt to your culture, your way of things, and whatever. That's how it will adapt to, and then it will become part of you. So it is not limited to you. And if the voodoo moves from you to another place, it will adapt to that place, and then also adjust with that culture and environment and work as it should. So white people have got so many spirits that work with them. They may not call it voodoo, but they have spirits working with them. So if you look at movies like Merlin, The Witch, call all other. They have so many movies that you see that they are demonstrating spirituality in their movies. So why should the black man have this in their mind that white people do not know about spirituality? They know about spirituality, and I believe very strongly before the white man came to Africa, they also did readings before coming to Africa to know what to use to destabilize our people in order to conquer us. So it is not that they just came blindly. Even though they may be holding the Bible in their hand, they did not come just blindly. They knew what they wanted. Because when you go into the German archives and German books, most of the Hebrew Kabbalah books that were written. Okay, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you are at this moment. I'm saying hello to all of you and also wishing all the fathers in the world a happy Father's Day. That's what we are celebrating in Ghana. I believe it's the whole world. Today is a happy Father's Day. And also to all the ladies and our mothers who are playing the role of fathers and they are mothers, but they are at the same time fathers. I'm saying Happy Father's Day to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and I'm going to be with you for about another 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, if possible, and then we will juggle out what our traditional spiritualities and trying to see if we can understand what our ancestors left for us. Thank you very much. And my name is Bokor Christopher Voncujovi. I'm going to be your host. Thank you very much. And also, I would like to thank all of you who had been part of Revolution. That this morning in China time, Sena Voncujovi had graduated from his master's degree in the Beijing University, and for me personally, that's a big Father's Day gift to me than anything. Thank you all for supporting Revolution and supporting all of us until now. I am very grateful to all of you. Thank you very much. So we will go on straight to using our do our prayer, pour libation, and then from there we will go on. Oh, mauga, so boy, Samadua, Gomonga, Kitty Catamandua, Gomonga, say your to, Amajoto, send down on the city and on the baby. I'm not maybe I'm the baby, maybe a woman of you, you're sending me a dog. We are sharing a handful of sugar, sorry for a sugar, dog. We are braxes and braxes and braxes, braxes and braxes and braxes and braxes. See, I could do a tablet of every no, oh, this sort of this coming. Ebe yo menos o dia ani bizo ka kachi kazi baje andre mi ala fa banya gbe mi na pe ko banya gbe do hono ba yo ra we nya nyimba ma do flo la fa plan nyimba ma do ka o nya bi ma to kulu este ku etega o ma yo akan be jo kan mo wa kan de ba kan zo wa kan tro ba kan mi wa kan fi kan mi ta kan de ba kan be ka mi gba ha do wa ku flo ba de fi to so te de me yo mi nu da o kon ba o do wa o ka ku o pe mi o zango yo mi pe bi ra pe mi akọ akan happy Father's Day na mi abobo pete me po kola me pero ni lo yo to gbe abla po ndo agbo dagbe me yo to gbe geje me yo geje na ha ye me yo to gbe jo pata be jo maku afoka me bolo mo ti o bolo fudo me me ko ko atolo fo mo jo nyo he be jo nyo to aya mo ju to anu kwa ko be ni le pe me to ba jo tu so ko le bi wo mo no te pe ka jo pata be ye ni happy jo bo ba jo ni yin jo pata o pe fia jo pata e tro me gbe da mo lo abi fa gbe eri pata nínú ayé àfihàn àjọlò jọpata ẹgbẹ́ mẹ́yọ ọmọsí ló gbọ́ ìdílé tó tọ́wọ́ èdè ìtàkà pẹ̀lú tí ṣùgbọ́n àjìnà ògbójú pé ọdọọjà rẹ̀ tó ń kọ́ valentí fáfá mẹ́ba ló jọ nàkófò àgọ́sápátẹ́ mẹ́yọ tí ìdílé mẹ́yọ mẹ́yọ làáfíà mẹ́yọ amọ̀dá sísẹ́ gẹ̀dẹ̀ àpapà sísẹ́ tọ́wọ́ gẹ̀dẹ̀ mẹ́yọ brahini mẹ́yọ gbọ̀gbọ̀chí mẹ́yọ gbẹ̀ foli kó mọ́ rẹ̀ fẹ́ gòmìn gbọdọ̀ kúchẹ̀ kúmọ́ kọ́ mẹ́ta tọ́wọ́ nyẹ́ mẹ́rẹ̀ mẹ́yọ yo to nyako speko ko yo no nyako so ko fo ni ko gbeje tasi nya mo si fusi ya mo so bra ko bra mama nye bodo en ba to bo nyako ko fi to bo nyako bia men sa to bo mama nye dore fen de pe kuno akuto bo ne fana ni gugu re mi na go ni ne fana we yo po nye Celestine ya wa ko bia Katrina ko bia fo nya sense ko lo fo nye ya be na ko bia akuto bo ne fana ni gugu re mi na go ni ne fana me yo mi aso wa chicha chicha ko Cecilia ko e ka to men sa akuto bo ne fana ni oya wo no tuji bako tuji to tuji me yo kini hase ko nchi da bara so bara kana me yo bako ada fi so fa mo ngo bi bako afacha wa joke akuto me fa na ni gbogbo re me na agbogbo du fa na me yo hunu le ba ko hunu le gbe abega to be ma se akuto me fa na me yo to be anani tretu le jita to be Abraham ti be le chame tɔgbe fiatɔ simon kabile abenyi na se akɔti me kuto me ne fa na mi gbogbo re eyɔ xɔlɔ nye bebe Daniel evie kpe ma re nima kekekeke le agbaro la kekeke kuto me ne fa na gbogbo re na gbogbo ne fa na nyateƒe me yɔ tre viviwo me le nyiviwo gedzeviwo gbeviwo kubiaviwo pete mi va xɔ aha na miano ne kuto me ne fa me kpo yi dzi me le batso nyanu ŋgɔa gbenu teshinu batso nyanu pete mi va xɔ akuto me ne fa na mi gbogbo re me do agbo me yɔ abo tsi sakra kama tso aba be ado bo koto koli do ko kuma ko agbere mbe to be no le tso fra ta na mi ko tsinka o ko fito nya ba ko tso to ko fito he ko fi atra kable yo me yɔ to be agbo pa to me gba vo do to ra ho bo me ya sa pa sa krunyo ko to ko sinyo ko to ke me yɔ me yɔ to be gbo bu mawu me yɔ na asa kuma na pete ba fa afana gonu afa gbo ma jeso ko pe to mo se lo me da pa bi me yɔ ko li meji so meji mo le meji abla meji akla meji buda meji sam ka meji trupe meji tula meji che meji fu meji che tula meji ko ba bi ko to ba do ko mi to ba de ni abe mo ko ni se ni to me ya be no nam ya be no to mo nam ne obia na mi ase ne mi ado ma do mi abasi me mele nyi me no ngo gbara me ka da me be to bo yo mi agbada di me yo mi Okay, we are ready to take off. So let's start with. I think we have people in Clubhouse. Some few people are here in Clubhouse. Okay, and then I'm saying hello to you and good afternoon from African Magic Temple to all of you wherever you may be. And then we have on Facebook we have there's only two things there. All is Revolution who has posted those things, right? So why do I have to read those things? And then we have Big Sister Oluchi who sent a message about 45 minutes ago. He said, "Peace and love, Papa, and my regards to the family and to we all." Thank you very much, Big Sister. Thank you for joining us and thank you for everything. I have a wise survivor flex saying, "Hello, Papa. Good afternoon. Trust you and family are doing extremely good." Yes, we are. And happy Father's Day to you, Wise. Very grateful for everything, for joining us. And Wise again, he said, "Papa, please, I want to ask, does heaven and hell really exist? Because for me, I don't believe in it because there's no any significant proof about this. But in the same sense, I still stand to be corrected. Thank you." Yeah, thank you very much, Wise Survivor Flex. Yeah, heaven and hell is a religious concept, and people who believe in it sometimes feel that they have been to heaven and come back. But then in our traditional spirituality, there is nothing like hell or heaven. Yes, from Christianity or from religious things, we borrow the word jipo, play jomavome. These are all from Christian backgrounds, and then it found its way back into our modern traditional spirituality. That's why the word hell and heaven. We have the word that our ancestors have is fetome, a fetome, where you were before you were born into this physical world, where your spirit was before you were born into this physical world. And if you come into this world, it is like a classroom. You are coming to learn, and then go back to where your ancestors are or were with you before you came here. So that's the concept that we have in our tradition. That's why it is good to tell you the things that you can do so that it will be easier for you, so that when you go back to a Fetome, you will be able to get a better life when you come back into this physical world. So the concept of heaven and hell is a religious concept, and to people who believe, it is their way. And one question I always have asked myself: who is in heaven that relate to you? So far, you had looked at the pictures that have been drawn by the Western people or the white people so far, and which one looks like you and your grandfather? Which of those images that you had seen in the heavens that have been drawn, uh, yes, shown to us, which of them look like your ancestors? Personally, I have not seen any that look like my ancestor. The one that is a little bit close to my ancestors is the one they call the devil with a tail, which has got an arrow on its tail and with horns on its head. And they say he is the one who controls hell. So that means all our ancestors are in hell, because that's the only one that resembles us in one way or the other. The rest are all white people, white angels, white whatever. And the God himself is white. So it's not related to me. So heaven cannot be a place that I think me as a person would be going, because there's no relative of mine that had ever gone there, as per the depiction of what heaven looks like. But our tradition tells us that we go back to our ancestors in Fetome, where uh, uh, we were before taking physical existence. So that's what the concept of heaven is to me. From my studies, from religious, everybody talk about heaven according to their own understanding, according to their culture. So I think in Buddhism it's called Nirvana. Whether the head of the Buddhist heaven is Buddha, I don't know. And the Christian is Jesus Christ, and maybe in Islam it may be Muhammad and Allah. I don't know. So the black man, which one is related to you? Think about it seriously, and those who can answer me, tell me. But in my understanding of heaven and hell, I think we don't have it in our system. Thank you very much. A wise survivor flex. Thank you, thank you. And then we have Rabbi, why you posted so many revolution things like this? What for? How many do you need to remind the people? These things are just too many. Your things that you have posted is more than the questions people are asking. We have Poha Doche here. Say good afternoon. Good afternoon, Poha. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. And then we have Kwame Jones. Good afternoon. Greetings from Guyana. Thank you very much, Kwame. How are you? Thank you. And my regard to all the people in Guyana. I think last night there was a special women's award in Guyana. And I think it's Bridgetown, Georgetown, or something like that. And one of our very favorite daughters was also given an award as one of the leading women of power in Guyana. Thank you, Kwame Jones. Thank you for getting in touch with us from Guyana. We have Jane Tiffany Mamisawa Akofu, my daughter there. Good afternoon, Papa and family. Thank you very much, Mamisawa. How are you? How is everything going on with you? My regards to everybody there. Say happy Father's Day to you. God bless you so much, Papa. And thank you very much, Mamisawa. We are very grateful, and may you continue to be blessed. Thank you very much for that message. And then we have Adam Kwashi. Good afternoon and happy Father's Day. Adam, thank you very much and good afternoon to you and happy Father's Day to you too. So I think we are done with Facebook. We on YouTube. I don't think we have any real questions on YouTube. Is okay. At the top we have Joe Dega. Say, Papa, what type of animal is that? Lizard or iguana is that on your front page? And how can we use it to do magic? I don't know. What is there? Agama. It's chameleon. Chameleon is called Lisa in Ewe, and Lisa also has something to do with the god that brings changes. That's why we have the word Mauga Sobo Lisa. Lisa is that ever-changing entity. So chameleon it's not a lizard. Okay, of course it's a lizard, but it's called chameleon, the one that changes colors. There's a lot of magic that Africans and our African traditional spirituality use chameleons to do. Soaps, perfumes, oils, and or just mention it, baths, all kind of things. You just need to know the secret, and then you can do, because it's supposed to be used to change the situation to a better situation, because the chameleon changes anything that it sees, and it does like it, it changes. If it doesn't like it, it changes a different one. So that's the power in the chameleon. Thank you very much, Joe Decker, for that question. We have Mario Young. Say good evening, Daddy, and the AMT family. Greetings from India. Mario and Joe, happy Father's Day to you, wherever you may be. Thank you all for joining. And we have SB. Say hello, Bokor, Voncujovi, and family. Greetings. Happy Father's Day to all fathers. Say thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you very much, SB. Happy Father's Day to you too. And thank you for being part of this great revolution. Thank you very much. Do you have, and then we have Amelafo Leba saying good afternoon. Hello, Amelafo, how are you? Thank you very much for joining, and good afternoon to you, and happy Father's Day to you too. Thank you. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers on Clubhouse, and also the mothers that are playing the roles of fathers. Happy Father's Day to all of you. Thank you all for joining us. If you have anything there to play, to say, please go ahead and let me speak to it.
Greetings, Papa.
Hello, Baba Wakiri. How are you? Thank you very much, and happy Father's Day to you.
Papa, this Shamba.
Is that Shamba? Wow. I thought it was Baba Wakiri. Okay, Shamba, how are you?
I'm good, Papa.
Yeah.
I want to wish you happy Father's Day.
And same to you, and happy Father's Day to your dad. Thank you very much for wishing me, and thank you for joining. How are things with you?
Things are going well. I'm in California right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a gig there? You have a show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. A few shows for the weekend.
Wow. That's good. I think Henry also is in California. Do you know Henry? There is one student who came to take initiation before you. I think I had given you his contact number. Henry Lloyd. He's in California. I think so.
Okay.
Okay. We'll talk later. Thank you. But then let's do the program first. Yes.
Papa, I wanted to ask, what is the meaning of that song when you sing Wundo, Wundo? I don't know the rest, but that's the only part that I remember.
Okay, it's a warrior song saying that Undo, Akoduade, Undo, Hechi, Pepelevo, Adalevo, Pepelevo, Adalevo, Pepelevo, Adalevo, Aduafianya. Then it goes with Undo, Akoduade, Undo, Hechi, which means is that the parrot eats a palm nut in the daytime. It's actually, when they refer to parrot in this song, they are talking about witches. That the witches even attack people in the broad daylight. That's the inner meaning of that song.
Thank you, Papa.
You're welcome. I think we will have to start to, let's say, record some of these songs instead of doing this hip hop thing they are doing, to record these ones for future generation and our members to know this song. So when we are singing it, you can also follow us in singing them. Thank you very much, Shamba, for the question.
Yes, thank you, Papa.
You're welcome. And then we have a big sister Oluchi saying, wow, I don't even know today is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Papa, and to all the fathers online with peace and love. Thank you very much, big sister Oluchi. You are a mother, but you are also a father. You are playing the role of father. So happy Father's Day to you too. Thank you very much. Is anybody on Zoom, or we are not on Zoom today?
Yeah.
Are we? Is it? I saw somebody first, but are they gone?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm waiting for your questions. So please send me your questions and let's do this. Yes, night we work very late. We were feeding somebody's head, the head spirit of someone. We fed the head spirit of somebody. It's a whole new experience that we had. And this early morning, we finished the ceremony, and then the person went back home. So that's also caused part of my delay and being here a little bit uh, above the time. Yeah.
Hello, this is Daniel.
Hello.
Hello. I wanted to ask, well, first I want to say hello. And I wanted to ask how important, I know we talk about relationships with spirit, and I wanted to know how important should we take care of our relationship? Can we strengthen our relationship? Can the relationship go bad? How does relationships with spirits work? I just want to understand that.
Is that Samuel?
Yes, this is
Okay,
Daniel.
Samuel, good afternoon and happy Father's Day to you. Um, yes, you see, the
Happy Father's
relationship with spirit is just the same relationship that is just the same like the relationship that you have with human being. The only difference between a spirit relationship with spirit is that you are not seeing the spirit physically, but it's always there with you and guiding and influencing and speaking to you and protecting you, but you are not physically seeing it. So when you have a relationship with spirit, it's just the same like a human being's the same. Whatever you would do for a friend to strengthen a relationship is what you do to spirits as well to strengthen your relationship with them. And spirits, because we cannot see them all the time and not everybody can see them, that doesn't mean that they do not exist. Anything that you know that when you do it to a spirit, supposing uh, you know that the spirit is hungry and you are supposed to feed your spirit, but you don't feed it on time and you let the spirit go hungry, it's not good because the spirit will look at you that, oh, but I'm working for you, but you don't care for me. Spirits, I will say that they are like women, whether it's a male spirit or female spirit. Spirits are more like women, and you need to really take care of them and care for them. And you must always pay attention to them, and that is when they do their best. If you pay attention to them, your relationship with them will be very smooth. But if you are trying to ignore them, they cannot establish a very good relationship with you. When you need to do a prayer and you know that this prayer is to bring a good communication between you and a spirit, but you don't have time and you only spend a little bit of your time to do that prayer or do that communication. They will not say anything, but then it is you who will need them. And when you need them and they don't come at your aid, you will say the spirits that are with you are not working. So with spirits, we need to continue getting closer to them in any way that we can, just in order to let them get closer to us. Personally, with my spirits, I am always with them. If they are not in my bag that are going out with me, then they are beside me in my room, or I wake up at dawn, I call them and tell them about the day, that they should make the day a good day for me. And if there's any danger in the day, they should try to prevent it from coming near to me. I do this daily in my life. And I think that brings communication between me. I call their names and tell them what my desires and my wishes are. And I thank them also for taking care of me. If you are doing these things to your spirits regularly, your spirits will get closer to you. And when they are hungry, sometimes they will tell you, sometimes if they don't tell you, you can get that through a reading and they will let you know why certain things are not going right. Sometimes spirits also may let your own spirits around you may let things not go well for you. How and why should that be? It's because you are either ignoring them and all these things, so they withdraw their services to you. And then things start going bad in your life. And when you do a reading, in the reading, they'll tell you your spirits are hungry, or they need your workers, the people who are working with you are hungry. So feed them. Because if you have workers and they are working with you and you are not feeding them, of course, they become weak and they cannot really fight and defend you. So the relationship with spirit is just the same like a human relationship. It's only that you are not seeing them. But when the spirit, if your spirit has something that it does not like, you don't have to do it. And even if by mistake you have done that, make sure you cleanse yourself with herbal bath and fumigations and other things that may be available to you before approaching that spirit. But if you approach the spirit after doing what the spirit doesn't like, the possibility is that the spirit will try to ignore your advances or whatever you may be asking the spirit to do. The spirit may ignore and may not work for you, and you will be thinking that the spirit is not powerful. It is not that the spirit is not powerful, it is you who is not powerful. So, Samuel, that's my take on this. There are so many other things I can say, but then we can leave it here for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Samuel. Thank you very much too. And big sister Oluchi was saying, "Yes, Papa, I'm play the two roles, husband. Thank you, Papa, too, for reminding us or me with peace and love. Thank you, big sister. Here you are both. I know." Okay, we have on YouTube. We have a
Good afternoon, Papa. I had a question for you.
Okay, hold on your question. I'm reading one. Let me finish reading this one and then I can take your question, please. Barbara Paddy is saying, "Happy Father's Day to you, Papa." Oh, hello, Barbara. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. And thank you for joining the section. May you continue to be blessed. Thanks a lot. Then we have Jamel Williams saying, "Today is Juneteenth, Black Independence Day, a day brought to honor the ancestors." Yeah, I think that should be in America. We don't have Juneteenth in Africa. So we don't have Juneteenth here, and not many people know about what is Juneteenth. If people will be not have knowledge of Juneteenth, maybe our fathers and other people. Not so many people know about Juneteenth, so we don't know. Maybe in America it's popular, maybe a day to honor the ancestors in America, but here we honor ancestors every time that the necessary thing is. We don't have any special day that we use in honoring ancestors in Africa. Every family has their own way to honor their days that they honor their ancestors during the festival of during harvesting festival. That's the time we honor our ancestors. So, but then thank you very much for, and we are also learning. Everybody is learning. So those of you who are in America, say today is Juneteenth, and you should honor your ancestors as per what has been laid down by our forefathers. Thank you very much, Jamel Williams. Very grateful. Yeah. Yes, go ahead with your question. Who was going to ask me a question?
It's Kwame. I was just asking you a question, Papa.
Yeah, Kwame, go ahead.
So first, good afternoon. But I had a few questions. My first question is that, I've been very interested in West African spirituality. So I've been researching it and watching plenty of videos on it and stuff like that. And I could see that, sometimes I could see that when, like a priest is giving sacrifice, for example, a chicken, the chicken will do several different movements. And I was wondering if you could just explain, what's the significance of after they slaughter a chicken and they give it to their god, what's the significance of the movements that the chicken will do? Is there some sort of significance in when they slaughter the chicken, how the chicken will move, and what kind of significance is there?
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, Kwame. It's not a problem. Let's say in African traditional spirituality, when we offer chicken or other animals to the ancestors, to the deities, and to the gods that we work with. If the god accept the offering, we can tell. And if they don't accept the offering too, we can tell from the way the chicken will fall after it's been slaughtered. Okay, there are four major symbols or uh, movements that the chicken will do, which will tell you what it is and what it is not. The first one is when you kill the chicken is it is supposed to lie on its back with the feet up or the legs up, and it will be lying on the wings with the back down, while the chest of the chicken and the legs are facing up. This movement is called jongbe or gbemeji, as in Afa, or Jiogbe as in Ifa. So that one shows that the spirit has accepted and it has opened its wings and doors for you and saying thank you for the offering. That is, whatever reason you were doing the offering on, when the chicken lies on its back with the feet up and the chest up, it is said that the uh, the spirit or the deity has accepted the offering. That's one movement. Another movement is the chicken will spread its wings with its back up and the chest on the floor or on the ground, and use its wing as if covering something. That also is called Yeku Meiji, or like the opposite of Jiogbe, which is the second sign in Afa or Ifa. That sign shows that the spirit has actually accepted your offer and is giving you assurance that I am covering you from your enemies. Okay. So when the chicken fall on the left side of the wing, when it is dying and it fell on the left side of its wing, it is said that it is sleeping on the arm of a man, in the sense that in our culture it is believed that when a man and a woman are lying on a bed, the man usually will sleep on his left side and use his right to cover the woman, while a woman will sleep on her right side and use the left to cover the man. So when it is done, when it falls on a male side, okay, let's call it male side, which is on the left side, people will tell you that there is some woman in your life that is giving you challenges. And then when the oracle is talking about the woman matter, some people may interpret it that it is talking about man matter, but the way I learned is when it falls on the left side, it is a woman, there is a woman issue in the case. Or whatever you are trying to do, there is a woman that is involved that either going to bring a good luck or going to be against you. But then when it falls on the wings on the right side, then they will tell you that there is a male that is against you, or there's a male that is going to bring good luck. Depending on what you are doing the ritual about that will be the answer. But then when you fall on its wings on the right side, it is said that there is a male involved. But then when it falls on the left side, it spoke about a woman involved into whatever you are trying to find out, or whatever you are doing the rituals on, or the killing the animal for. That is for birds. So these four movements or four positions are good in a way that when it falls on its back and the legs up, it is accepted, the oracle or the deity or the voodoo or the spirit has accepted your offering. And when it comes down with the chest down and the wings spread in a way as if covering, it is giving assurance that the spirit has accepted your offer and is also giving you assurance that it is covering you. When it falls on the left side, with on the wings on the left side, that means there is a woman involved in the whatever you are doing. There is a woman who is either supporting you or against you, but definitely there is a woman involved. So there should be a further reading done with the cowries to find out whether the woman that the chickens falling is talking about, is it for good or is for bad. Then you can understand. Then when it falls on the right hand side of the wing, then it is a male that is against you or is involved into whatever you are trying to do. And the further reading should be done to find out whether this male is an enemy or is a friend. So, Kwame, that is our understanding of when the chicken falls.
Oh, thank you for that, Papa. And one more question. I had a dream that, and I just wanted your perspective on it. I had a dream with a man in it, and the man had a dog, but the dog could do plenty things. Like it could do all these different type of things that dog cannot do. And I was just wondering your perspective on that dream when you see a dog in your dream, and the dog is has supernatural kind of things that it could do, flying, could do all types of things. And I was just wondering your perspective on that type of dream, if you have ever experienced anything like that, or have heard anything like that, and what it means.
Okay, in the AV perspective of dreams concerning dogs, it is usually regarded as witchcraft. When you see dogs in your dream, it means you are dealing with witches, or witches are trying to show you something or trying to attack you. That's the way we interpret dog dreams. So it may be that you have seen some dog doing all these things. If we are going to talk about it in the AV concept, then there is a witch that is telling you that they can do anything.
I see.
That's why when you see a dog, when you see a dog chasing you in a dream, it is a witch's attack. And if a dog should bite you in a dream, it is also means your witches had attacked you.
Thank you for that, Papa.
You are very much welcome, Kwame. I'm very grateful. My regards to the whole family.
You as well, sir.
And then we have a big sister Oluchi. Say, Papa, after doing that ritual, can we eat the chicken, peace and love? Yes, for sure. We in our African traditional spirituality, when we kill chicken, we don't throw them away. We eat them afterwards. After all, the spirits only need the blood, and after the blood, or sometime maybe they need certain parts of like in the ancestral rituals, we have to get certain parts and add to the ancestral food. But in general, once the blood is given to the spirit, the cooked part is going to be eaten by human beings. It is not thrown away. However, in the ritual of witches ritual, when we do witches ritual, the chicken is not eaten. It's totally given to the witches, because you will not want to have a challenge or problem with the witches after they ask you for food and you give some to them, and you, the human being, you have also eaten another part. They will they will worry you. They will not accept the food at all, and you will have to do the rituals again, or some other challenges may come in your life. So for the witches part, we give all the chicken to the witches. Whereas in the case of the voodoo and other things, after the blood has been spilled on the voodoo, because it is inside the blood that there is life, and it's that life that comes from the blood or from the chicken is what the voodoo takes to empower itself in order to be able to work for you. So once the blood is given to them, human beings can eat the flesh of the dead animal. But then sometimes some voodoos also would want you to feed them with a bit of the cooked one. And if you have such a voodoo, then you should know what kind of parts you have to give to the voodoo, and you separate those parts, and when they are cooked, you give to the voodoo. Thank you very much for that question, big sister Oluchi. Yes. So we have Monty Tel here. Is a greetings, Papa. Hello, Monty. How are you? Are you still in Taiwan, or you are back home? Happy Father's Day to you. Thank you very much for joining the section. Yes, we have Talongo Eric on YouTube, and Womeyewe. Talongo Eric Womeyewe. Okay. Thank you very much for joining Talongo, joining the section. We are very grateful. If you want to ask any question, please, you can go ahead. But if you just want to listen, that's also fine. Thanks a lot for joining. Okay, we are now back on YouTube, and we have Tobe Jigbezan Sesoka saying greetings and good day, Papa. Bokor Anuledo. Thank you very much, Tobe Jigbezan. Anuledo, America Medena Anuledo now, Bokor. And Tobe Jigbezan continue with Happy Father's Day greetings, and you and the fathers in your family and the community. Thank you very much, and to you, and Happy Father's Day to you too, Tobe Jigbeza Sesoka. We are very grateful to have you on the section. We are very happy. Thank you very much. And my big brother in the UK, FO Martin Kobler, it's a good day and Happy Father's Day again to you. I congratulate my nephew Senna on his day of graduation. Please get in touch, Senna. Kindly tell us about Yeve. Okay, for Martin, I had always said that I'm not a member of the Yeve cult, but Yeve is one of the oldest Ewe traditional base or traditional base spirituality. It is from this Yeve that all our Ewe spirituality came from. That's why when the Eves got Afa from the Yorubas, they call it Anagofe Yeve. So the Eves have got their own spirituality, which is called Yeve, and then later they adopted the Afa or Ifa from the Yorubas. So they work their Yeve and the Yoruba Yeve, which is Ifa, together. That's why when they want to pray to Ifa, they call it Anago Wofe Yeve, the Yeve of the Anago people or the Yeve of the Yoruba people. And then the Eves have their Yeve. But I am not a member of any Yeve court. I have not been a member, and I used to tell myself that maybe when I get older, before I will join that spiritual cult of the Eves, because they have so many rules and regulations. Of course, I know people who are around me who are members of the Yeve cult, but the Yeve cult has so much secrecy that they don't share it if you don't become a member. So since I am not ready to become a member now, I don't ask them questions about what Yeve is. But I know that the Hebiaso, Toho na, Voodoo da, Togbezipi, Soja, Nanabruku, Voodoo da, and all other voodoos are all coming from the Yeve and later spread out. So I'm not very familiar with how Yeve things are done because I'm not a member, and I don't want to ask people to tell me what Yeve is because I am not ready to join them. They are having their own language within the Ewe language. When you are with Yeve people and they are speaking that language, you cannot understand. It's because they are very secretive cult and they have their own songs and they have their ways of doing incantation and everything, but it's our culture. It's our Ewe, the root of Ewe spirituality in reality. But I am not into it yet. Maybe one day I will join, and then I will know. But even if I join, I cannot tell you too much because they maintain secrecy. Only people who join can know the secrets of the Yewe, the cult. Thank you very much for Martin Kobler. Senna, I think he will read and then he will get in touch with you. Thank you very much for Martin. Okay. We have our big sister, Cadi Fisher, our very, very important AMT member, will I say. The basis of AMT, the old sympathizers and people who had formed the base of friends and fans of and students of AMT, Cadi Fisher, saying Happy Father's Day to, please let me see what is there. Cadi Fisher saying Happy Father's Day, Papa, and all the AMT fathers. Thank you very much, and Happy Father's Day to you, because I know you are playing the role of a father and the same role as a mother. So Happy Father's Day to you too for all that you are doing. We miss you a lot. Thank you very much for joining the section, and we are grateful. May the ancestors continue to be with you and bless you. Thank you very much, big sister. And then we have a big sister Oluchi Osuoke saying, for the witches after killing the chicken and give them the blood, do we have to burn the chicken to ashes? Or cook the chicken for them, or bury the chicken? Which one is better, Papa? No, it depends on everyone's ritual. The rituals that we will do here, we don't bury. When we kill the chicken, there's some certain things we do with the chicken, and then we serve them with the whole chicken that has been killed. There's a way we dissect it, and we put them all and serve them at the legba, in front of legba. So we don't burn them, we don't bury them, but there's a way to serve them. But then where you are, I don't know whether you can do those things. And of course, these rituals that we do for witches is usually a priest who knows how to do it that does it. But then you may also have some way to do it. I don't know which one is the best way, but we don't cook the chicken, we don't burn it, we save them directly with other things. It's not only the chicken, there's so many other things that goes along with the chicken that we use in serving the witches. So that's how it is done. Okay, why survivor first? When prayers is done like libation, how do you know that it has been accepted and it will fulfill in its purpose? When you are praying to a deity, it is not the prayer that you pray that will tell you that it has been accepted or it has not been accepted. It is the results that come from the prayer that you pray that tells you whether your prayers have been accepted or your libation has been accepted or not. It's not unlike a chicken when you give it to the voodoo and it turns itself in different ways to tell you that it has accepted it. A pouring drink, you may not know. Of course, certain people will tell you that when you pour the last drink that is coming from the cup and throw it, spread it in a way, it may show a sign. I don't know that. I am not familiar. I'm not very good in those. When I pray and pour libation for my ancestors or to the deities and the entities that I work with, and I ask them for them to do a tax for me on the purpose which I am, why I am pouring the libation, I wait for it. I don't expect it immediately to come, because you can't drink medicine today and get healed with a sickness that you have been sick from for years or for some time. So I always have that patience when I pray to my oracle or pray to my deities and my entities that I work with. I give them a task and I tell them this prayer, it is for this reason I am praying this prayer. And if I am seeing results from the prayer that I did, then I know that they have accepted it. And when results are not coming and things are not going my way, then that means they had not accepted the prayer, or there is something that is still remaining that hasn't been done. That's why I am not getting the answer for the prayer. So that's the way when you pour libation, you can know and check that the purpose for which you are pouring the libation has been achieved. You cannot know it immediately at the point of prayer. We are not Christians and we are not religious people, so we don't use faith in just believing that, oh, I believe that it has been accepted. There's no belief system in our tradition. Our tradition is based on practicality, observation, logic, and reasoning. It is when you observe with your logical mind and you reason it out, then you can know what you are doing is real or it is not real. It is not based on faith. Although I believe that, oh, they have accepted it. It does not exist in our system. Thank you very much, Wise Survivor Flex. And then we have big Sister Oluchi also. Okay, say, okay, Papa, thank you for your reply. Peace and love. Thank you very much, big sister. Very grateful. Yes, Wise Survivor Flex again. Say, hello, Papa. Please, which drink would you recommend best for libation? Thank you. I mostly use water and casapreco. It's fine. You can use any drink that you feel. But then in every traditional spirituality, usually we don't use bitters or drinks that have been colored. We usually use a plain white or colorless drinks. That's why that's what we use. And even if you are going to use a sweet drink, we don't use Coca-Cola. We don't use Fanta, but we use Sprite, 7 Up, and any other soda that is very plain in color, that colorless drinks. That's what we use. But there are some spirits that may request for certain kind of drinks like rum, whiskey, which are colored drinks. But you must know what spirit you are praying to. But just for ancestral stool, Tobezipi, and most of your deities or spirits, you will just use kasapreku or just plain drink and pray to them, and sometimes you use water. But some people may choose to use water all along, but water has a place to work up to. That's why in our tradition, they pour the water first before pouring the alcohol. So water has its place. When we pour water, we say, may this water cool you down so that you bring coolness and happiness into our life. And also the situation that we are confronting, please cool it down for us with water. And when we use drink, we say that take this drink and get drunk and try to confront and attack the problem that is trying to attack us. Drink is supposed to make you feel like you are mad, you are crazy. So we give them order that they should get mad and not sit down peacefully until our enemies come and attack us, or the things that are trying to distract us come and attack us. But rather, they should get drunk and go and face the situation and overcome it. That's why we give them drink. So you can use water, but then it is also good that sometimes you use gin, or if you have a white whiskey or whatever, you use it and empower your spirit so that they can fight on your behalf. If you can imagine, when a person drinks water, your stomach is full, but take 2 concoct like this of drink, you will see the way your happiness will start coming and the same way your craziness will start coming. That's the way it comes in the spirit too. When you give them drink, they become more active than normal, and they work for you. Thank you. There is even one Ifa story. I'm not very sure with which Odu it is, but it's an Ifa story. If a Sena is on Zoom, if Sena is on Clubhouse, you can tell. There is also a story in Afa that one time, long time ago, there was three liquids: oil, water, and alcohol. But then alcohol was given a position to be kind of a spokesperson for the chief. So wherever alcohol goes, people give respect, they show respect to him, and they bring changes, it brings changes. But then water and palm oil became jealous of how close he was to the chief, and that all the time the chief even let the alcohol do all the work on his behalf. So water and oil went and told the chief that, hey, the way alcohol is getting popularity in this our land, if you the chief, you are not very careful, people will like the alcohol more than you, and they will remove you from your position. So we will advise you that you should sanction alcohol so that it does not come close to you, or should not even be in the royal court at all. So the chief also noticed that wherever alcohol went, there was always happiness, and people were so happy and things happened. And he also took in and listened to what the water and oil were saying. So the chief decided to sanction the alcohol and stop him from working at the royal courts. So as time went by, water and oil were doing the work, and but then whenever they go to people, people will drink, and they greet them and all the same, but nothing really was happening. Then one day the chief's mother died, and the chief was going to receive guests in his village. Now there were gutters that were dirty and choked with rotten mud and leaves. Animals died. The toilet was full, and all kind of things were happening, and the whole village was smelly. Now the chief doesn't want to be ashamed that when he receives guests, his village or town will be smelling, and people will be saying, ah, why? You as a great chief like this, your whole town is smelling and all dirty things everywhere. So the chief went and consulted the oracle Afa to find out what to do so that the mother's funeral will be a successful funeral. One thing you should all know, those who do not know, the funerals in our villages or in our communities are very great moments of people coming to meet and exchange ideas, as well as make friendship. And also enemies also come, and everybody also come. So the chief consulted the oracle, and the oracle told him that there was someone who was working with you. You have sacked that person from your court, and until you bring that person back, you are going to be ashamed. So the king thought about it and said, hey, what the oracle was telling me, it's serious. If I don't bring that alcohol back, there will be problem. So the king sent people to the alcohol to beg him to come back and resume his work. And then alcohol said, no, you sacked me, and I don't know why you wanted me to come back. But then they pleaded, and so the chief said the mother is dead and it's only you who can do the work. So when the alcohol finally came back, he went and greeted the chief himself first, and the chief was happy. And the young people in the town, he went and shook hands with all of them, and people started getting happy. And then the old men and women, everybody. Oh, before they noticed, everybody carried brooms and diggers and shovels and started cleaning. Within a very short time, people had cleaned the whole village, and happiness came, and everything was gone. Because if you drink alcohol now, if you are working, you will even do things you can easily clean dirty things without even feeling it. But if you only drink water and you see the dirty thing, you'll be feeling kind of lazy to touch it, and it's not good for you to touch. But when you take alcohol, things change. Your mind, your position, your demeanor, everything changes. So alcohol is very, very important in spirituality too. We are not Hindus whereby alcohol is forbidden, so you cross your leg and wait for God. We in Africa, in African traditional spirituality, we drink alcohol and we give alcohol to our spirits. We use alcohol in pouring libation to our ancestors, and we ginger them, we activate them, and they work for us. Because when you are doing something and you're getting results from it, you will know that it's working for you. But when you are doing something and you are not getting any result, and you sit down for hours and hours, you are looking for Kundalini to wake up. Kundalini is not waking up. Tomorrow you sit down for hours, only your leg is paining you. Kundalini is not waking up. You sit down and you say, oh, your third eye is going to open. You are there, you are deceiving yourself, like you are seeing, like actually you are only seeing sparks in your own head. You are just deceiving yourself. Whatever is practical is practical. If it is not, why continue doing it? So we, in our tradition, we use alcohol. That's why it is made. Thank you very much for that question. And then we have Senate Tuesday, the Father's Day, Papa. Continue to be a blessing to many. Hello, Senna. How are you? Thank you very much. It's been a very long time that I've seen you. I think the past 6 months I haven't really seen you yet. Thank you very much. How are you? And happy Father's Day to you. You are a very amazing, wonderful father to your daughter. I've been seeing your pictures of her. Keep doing what you are doing. May the ancestors continue blessing you too. Happy Father's Day. Then we have a wise survivor flight. Hello, Papa. Please, sometimes I've been doing my libation and praying for my assay, waiting patiently, but I don't see any significant result. But I believe, as you said earlier, our worship of African worship is of African spirituality is not based on belief. It is a practical stuff. So with that, how do I get it straight? If you have a say made for you, it's not a say, it's called a say or say, unless of course you are talking about Seregaji, which is a say, if that's what you are talking about. But if you are talking about your destiny, it's called say or a say. Has your say been set up properly for you? Has the negative essay be removed and the positive one set for you? You can't be praying to your essay if you have not had any direct contact with your essay, even though your essay lives within you. That's a mistake a lot of people are making, thinking that you can choose that, oh, I'm praying to this, without having any initiation or any practical confrontation with the thing. But because it comes into the world with you, it will not answer you until you have a practical teacher teaching you how a say is done, or how a negative essay is treated, and what you should do to activate that essay when they set it up for you. It is not just like from your own reading or you're hearing from people you pour. But if essay has been set up for you, and your negative essay had been removed, and a positive essay, senyo or sevoin has been removed, and say had been set up for you, and still it's not working for you, then you have to go back to the teacher that taught you about it and ask it what is going on, so that he can ask yourself for you what to do to make it to work for you. But just believing that, oh, you have a say and you start praying to you, oh, my say, do this for me, nothing is going to happen, my brother. I have to tell you the truth. Nothing is going to happen. Spirituality, African spirituality, is not based on faith. It's not based on belief. It's based on practicality. So before you can actually even pray to yourself and get correct answers, somebody has to do a set for you or teach you about a set and introduce you to your own essay. It's a ritual. There's a process of introducing you to your set. When those processes are done, then you know you are in communication with yourself. So whenever you are talking to yourself, I think it can never deceive you or let you down. But without that, you think that you're just pouring libation and calling it my essay to come and drink. No, you need to know the proper way to do it. Then you get results. Thank you very much, Wise Survivor Friends. Thank you. And Derek Davon is saying Happy Father's Day to us. Thank you very much, Derek. And then Happy Father's Day to you too. Yes. And the thumbs up for us from Derek Davon. Okay, thumbs up for you too. Thank you very much. Yeah. We have Wise again here. Please, Papa. The thunder spirit, can one just call it as the praying for ancestors, or it is initiation that one has to go to be able to have that power? You see, thunder spirit or heavier so it's a general spirit. But every spirit, even in Christianity, you cannot just wake up and call yourself a Christian if you don't go to a Christian church, either to be baptized or put inside water to be born again or whatever. You cannot just wake up without having any contact with somebody who is teaching about a particular religion and think that you can just say, oh, I'm calling Allah, without going through the Islamic rituals that they will do for you to accept you into their group. And you cannot expect that you call Allah when you without being a Muslim, without being initiated into Islam, or without being introduced into Islam, and you just wake up and say Allahu Akbar, and you think that God is hearing you, and because you are saying so. No, you are only hearing yourself. If you want to do anything with spirituality and get practical results, you must go to do it through the practical way, not through imagination that you just have for yourself. There are rules and regulations, and then there are guidelines that follow African traditional spirituality. People do not just stand up and call themselves priests and priestesses, unlike what most of our people in the diaspora are doing, just because they believe that they had a dream, and the dream is this, so they want to call themselves priests and priestesses. No. People who have been called priests and priestesses in Africa, even though you may be born with natural powers and spiritual powers, you still need to go to some training from someone who had practiced. Unless, of course, your powers are so great that you begin to demonstrate them openly, and people are seeing that, people will begin to look at you, and so this person is someone God has sent to us, or the deities have sent to us. But even such people still needed to be trained. Take, for instance, let's go into the Bible. When Jesus Christ was born, he was doing so many things. They say he went and asked questions to elders in the church when he was 12 years. And after that 12 years, we didn't see him until he was 30 years. So 12 minus 30, we get 18 years. So there was 18 good years of Jesus being absent from the Bible. And then it was through those times that he learned so many things from different places. But the one that was common in the Bible was that he went to John the Baptist. And John the Baptist was like the forerunner of Jesus Christ. They said they were cousins too. So John the Baptist, Jesus Christ went to him while John the Baptist was in the wilderness baptizing and initiating, because baptism is also an initiation. John the Baptist was initiating people in the river Jordan, or in another river, I don't know which one. And then Jesus went to him to initiate him or baptize him. And it was until Jesus was baptized before he realized what power the powers that had been around him, how to mobilize them and use them for the benefit of his community and the people who trusted him. So that was also an initiation. Jesus Christ, if he ever existed, and according to the Bible, couldn't have done anything without going to John the Baptist for baptism. And baptism is an initiation into Christianity. And many Christian groups and sects have different ways of baptizing. Some will pour some small water on your head and say you are baptized. Some will dip you inside a river. Some even created ponds inside the church where they will dip you and bring you out. So all are kind of rituals that are introducing you into the sect that is in Christianity. So it is also in traditional spirituality. Until you are being given the key or shown the way to do things, you cannot do things just in the air and expect answers to come to you. So when you are doing things and you are not finding answers, means you don't know what you are doing and you have not been introduced to anything. That's why you are having the challenges. When you are introduced to a spirit or to a deity or to your essay in a very proper way, when you call your essay, you will see the results. And your essay will show you things even before you even wake up. There are certain things your essay will give you direction, and before you know already. But just doing things without trying to get proper instructions or the proper way of doing it, you are not going to be successful in anything. You can call yourself any name, but until you are able to go through a proper teacher who will introduce you in a proper way, you cannot get it to the point. So wise initiation or introduction into whatever you are doing is important. It is important. Thank you. And then Big Sister Oluchi was laughing, I think, something that I might have said over there. Okay, thank you very much, Big Sister Oluchi. Okay, so we are done with the Facebook here now, or going through it and see if we have any question on Facebook again. If we do have any, go up and let's see, maybe we'll miss some. So far, we haven't missed any. Okay, okay, which one? Okay, this was your, okay. So far, we have not missed anything. And of course, we are going to do our mid-year rituals on the 30th of June. Today is the 19th. We have only about 11 days more to do our mid-year rituals. Mid-year rituals will be rituals that will be done to the Vodus, a feeding of the Vodus, and especially Togwe Jokata, who is one of our patron spirits at the shrine. We'll be feeding him and also changing herbs for him. So those of you who are interested and wanted to do the ancestral feeding, the group ancestral feeding, we will be doing group ancestral feeding before the 30th, somewhere from the 21st or 25th. Depending on the day, I have to look into the calendar and see if it falls on the day that we are supposed to do ancestral feeding. But somewhere this week, those of you who wanted to do the group one, we are doing it, the group one, for $200 for each person. And if you send that, you send the names of your ancestors, and we'll be able to feed your ancestors on your behalf. But those who have done readings and want to have to do their own personal, private, personal ancestral feeding, the group one will not be enough, because each ancestral feeding, when you are doing a reading, the things that your ancestors may need will be different from another person. But the group one is a general way of just feeding the ancestors, not because they ask us, but we choose to feed them. So that's what is happening this week at African Magic Temple. So those of you who are interested should actually follow us. People in Ghana, local people, are paying 500 cedis, and those who are outside are paying 200 US dollars. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's change that to we are in. Can you give it a black background? Yes, please, so that it makes it easier for me to read. Okay, so we have a Yakel 5. Yakel 5. No, go down. Go down. Yeah, because I read about now the Yakel 5 is say Happy Father's Day, Papa, and the whole AMT family. Sincerely, may the ancestors forever bless you. Thank you very much, Yakel 5, and Happy Father's Day to you and to your fathers and the people closer to you. I'm also wishing them fathers, and also to the mothers that are fathers. I'm wishing them Happy Father's Day. Thank you very much, Yakel 5. Mhm. So we are done with YouTube and Facebook. Please, people on Zoom, is there anybody there? Nobody on Zoom now. So, so far no one. And then on Clubhouse, do you people have any question to the things that I'm talking about?
Hey, Papa, it's Kwame again. Just had a quick question.
Yes, Kwabi, go ahead.
In terms of, I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically, I know that you speak about it a lot. Basically, to be able to work with your own spirit, I think you call it the I don't know how to pronounce it.
Essay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of that, if someone is interested in something like that, what's the process of being able to go through that initiation? What's the process of that?
Okay, the essay in the Ava concept is you, your real self, that is now that is clothed with this body which we call ourselves. But the inner self is what the Aves call essay. It is the same thing that is likened to in the Hindu concept they call the Atma, the inner self. Okay, Kwame, are you with me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, so it is the same thing that's called the Atma, the inner self. That is what the Aves call Jogbese, Esse. People call it Joto. It has so many names depending on the dialect of the Ave dialect that they're speaking, but the common name is Esse or Jogbese. The Esse comes with the human being into this world. It is the one that is born and takes take a flesh. So when you die, that Esse does not die. It's only your physical body that dies, and this Esse will reincarnate again into another body as per their work that they have done while they were in physical body. That will determine where they have to reincarnate at and what position they will be put in, whether on the higher paddles of the ladder or the lower, depending on the way you live your life in this life. So the essay has got a positive and has also got a negative. In some people, the negative essay or the negative destiny, the word for it in English is destiny. The negative part of it, in some people, is more active than the positive part. And in such people, you will see that everything they are doing is always not getting to what they wanted to get, or getting the point that they wanted to get to. They will be struggling in life and falling into one problem and another. Take a young boy who only is about 16, 17 years old. went and fought with his friend, and then before he or she knows, is put to jail, is sent to jail to go and spend almost 20, 30 years in jail before coming out. All this thing is because of the negative, is because of the negative asset that has not been identified quickly, or maybe the culture in which that child is born, they don't know so much about how to handle Jogwese or the destiny of each and every person. We all have different destiny. No two people have the same destiny. When people say you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, it's usually because of the essay. Your essay, which is the negative one, is driving you to fall into trouble and give you pressure in life, so that this life cannot be easy for you to handle. So, in the AV concept of this, when a child is born, when the child is sleeping, listen very carefully, everybody. When the child is asleep, and the child starts talking in his dreams, and is talking, and the people are hearing that he's saying something, but they don't understand what the child is saying. And sometimes the child will cry in the dream, or wake up crying, and will start behaving and be speaking. All this thing is the negative essay is trying to get hold of that child. And if this thing is not taken care of quickly, that child will grow up, and that negative destiny will be the one in leading the child's life. And the child become an adult, and everything he will do will just be falling into trouble. There is nothing that will be successful. Anything that even getting to success will just fall off and drop off, and that's it. And the person will start all over. If the person is lucky, he will still be outside, not in jail, or not fall into any bigger problem whereby he will be incarcerated, and he can be struggling and sometimes become homeless or whatever. It's all destiny. But if someone knows what to do or understood what is happening, then immediately there's a process that the AVs do by removing or stopping that negative destiny from overcoming you. When the negative destiny is in your life and is the strongest in your life, the positive cannot really show. The positive will be struggling also to come up, but it cannot, because sometimes you get to a point that they say they are looking for people for a job or a contract or to attend a school and get scholarship. You will also be among the people, and when it gets to your time, they say the contract is finished. Nobody is going to, it is over. And you cannot understand why it gets to you and then that's the end of it. So many things will be happening in your life. You'll be wondering why. You buy a car, or somebody even dash you a car. You start driving, in a few days' time, your car engine got fire. You are in a place you have not even committed any crime whatsoever. Before the security agencies come and swoop up the place and arrested you and put you inside. They lock you up in a jail for no reason. These are the works of the negative essay. You try to do anything in life, but you will not be successful. Or you will be doing them, you will only be failing. You will do and you will fail. These are the works of the negative destiny, or negative essay, or we can say the negative atma. So the AVs have got a way to hold that negative when they detect it, or whether it is from a little child they detected it if the parents are smart, or it is from a reading that it has been detected that through a reading it is said that all the failures you have been facing is because of your destiny. Then a person who knows how to work destiny will have to get you initiated in such a way to stop the negative destiny or essay from working you. They will put a brake on its work. Now, when they put a brake on its work, now the positive will be now trying to get up and then put you in the correct place. But to even move at a super speed is then they have to set up the positive essay for you, which we call the essay. They set it up for you and they tell you how to work with it. And then when you know how to work with it, you don't have any problem because your destiny is like the roadmap of your life when you come into this world. It is the one that you have to watch and walk on it, and then your life will be okay. Fortunately for me, it's because I knew about this thing. That's why all my children from their childhood, I have already removed their negative essay. And then slowly, slowly, when they get to a certain age and I realize that they can handle their essay, I set it up for them and then they are okay. I'm not saying my children don't have problem. My children also have problem, but because my grandfathers, my fathers, my teachers taught me all these things, and I'm always looking out for signs of the negative one trying to disturb, and I try to work it quickly so that it does not continue disturbing their life. So there is a process in every culture that the destiny is taking care of, negative as well as the positive.
And is there a time when, just curious, that maybe someone they having eyes and they can see that, hey, this person essay is very good, it's positive one. Use that one and give them the negative one.
No one can give you a negative essay. No one can influence your essay and or change your essay into a negative one. What people can do is that if they see that you are progressing or there's a possibility for you to progress, they can put a roadblocks on your way. But then if your essay already is negative, of course it is negative. But the way people have been saying, oh, somebody has stolen your destiny, all this thing, I don't believe that. I don't believe in those things. It is rather that you didn't know how to work your essay and the negative one is against you and you will blame other people that somebody has stolen. No. If the person has stolen your destiny, where has he taken it to? Where has he taken it to? Destiny is God and no one can steal your God. People can give you different ideas and give derogatory names to your God and make you not to look at it, but no one can steal your God because it came into this world with you. It's the first God that came with you into this world, and it's the only God that is going to live with you, not Christian, not Islam, not Hindu, whatever. It is the only Atma. Is the one. The Atma has no religion. It is the guidance of that's why in every culture we have three deities. We have Mauga Sobolisa, Mauga Kitikata, and then Mauga Ese. They are the trinity that that form the universe as far as every cosmology is concerned. But then Mauga Ese, which is the destiny, is the one that created human, each one accordingly. Just like in Hinduism, we have Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. And it is said that Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is kind of the operator, and then Mahesh become the destroyer. So in Eve, if we want to liken any of the gods to say, we may be talking about Brahma in the sense that it's the one that creates human being. So a set creates human being, and each and everybody has different destiny. No two people has the same destiny, just like our fingerprints. So no one can see your essay and say they are going to steal it from you or this thing, but they can give you bad advice, and you will leave the path on which you are supposed to be on and take a different path, and you will get lost. Thank you very much, Kwame, for that. I hope it is clear.
Yeah, it's clear, it's clear. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, on YouTube we have Carlos Louis is saying Happy Father's Day, Papa. Hello, Carlos. Happy Father's Day to you too. Hope you are fine, and thank you very much for joining the section. We are very grateful. Thank you all. Okay, we have Adam K. Agbe. Good evening, Papa. Please, is there anything wrong with someone doing libation in tree while the person is away? No, there's nothing. It's just language. It's just change of language. When your ancestors are Aves, but you don't speak Ave, you can pray in tree. Even if your ancestors are Aves and you speak Ave and you speak tree, it is it is what you are saying within you, and the person who you are directing it to is what matters most. So you can use tree to pray to your ancestors. If you believe that you are directing it to the right place, then you don't have a problem. What about the Akans when they are pouring libation? They pour libation in their Akan language. But then if Akans are in Ewe land and learn Ewe, they will pour libation in Eve to their ancestors and it will be accepted. So there is no problem at all with that. So don't worry about that. The spirit world has no language at all. It's we, the human beings, that are having this language problem. Why this is not working? Please find a way to make this air conditioner to work. What did you put? Yes. So language doesn't matter, because when spirits don't speak human language, when you become a spirit, you don't speak a human language anymore. When they speak in figures and pictures, so that's how you will understand them. That's why a good diviner, a good priest, a good spiritualist, when the spirits are communicating with him, they can communicate with him in any kind of language, in the sense that they will only be showing figures and pictures. And that pictures, that person can translate it into any language that he understands and the person he's doing a reading for. So spirits don't speak human language. And then Big Sister Oluchi is laughing again. I don't know what I said. He said they can delay it, but they cannot take it away from you, because God gave it to you when you came to this life. Peace and love. Correct me, Papa. You are very right, Big Sister. You are much, very, very right for that. No one can take it. They can delay you, but they can never take it, because it's the God that came into this world with you. Who can take your God away from you? You can be misled and you believe that what you have, just like how the white man came to Africa and told us that our reward is in heaven, that we should forget about the gold and the diamonds that we have here. When we go to heaven, we will walk on golden streets and drink from rivers flowing with honey and milk. And the white man was busy loading these things that they told us to forget and sending it to their country and develop their countries. Now our people want to go there because that place is the heaven. People are going to Europe, going to America, struggling and even dying in the Atlantic Ocean and all these things just to get to heaven, which is the white man's country. They told us that we should forget it. We don't need it. And Christianity today continues saying that while the pastor and the people who form the church are making money, they keep telling the poor people that their reward is in heaven. The same way, someone can mislead you and tell you that your destiny is not anything. Forget it. Come to Jesus Christ. Come to mosque. You will see God. Who has seen God before? Can we see God? And in Ghana, in my country, our pastors are always having breakfast and dinner with God. So they are telling people what God told them to tell them. It's happening every day. Even people who are liars can tell you that God told me to tell you this. And people believe them. Instead of working out their destiny, the God that came into them, to this world with them, so that they can be able to reach the top or become what their life is. Because each and everyone has their destiny. There is someone who will come into this world. The only way the person can be successful in his destiny is to sell water. Some is supposed to cut firewood. Some may be doctors. Some may be engineers. But if you don't know your spiritual path, you don't know the path of your destiny, you see that everybody is trying to be a medical doctor. So you too, you want to be a medical doctor. I tell you, you will go many times, you will not pass. And even if you pass and you are a doctor, you will not be fulfilled. What you expect to be happy with, you will not get it. But if you follow the destiny or the path of your destiny, and you go and know what you are supposed to do, when you are doing it, within you yourself, you'll be happy with what you are doing. And when you are doing anything and you are happy, then you can do it successfully. It is when you are doing work and that work gives you fulfillment and happiness to yourself, to your inner self. Even if you are not making money, you are happy, but you will live a good life. You may not be making 5, 6 figures of money, but you will be happier than people who even make 7 figures as salary. So knowing your destiny and in the proper way is the best way to know God. God is the only God that came into this world with you. The rest, we just mentioned them, but the essence is here with you. What do you think when you sleep at night? When your body is lying down and something is going out, you call dream, and it's going around places, and sometimes in your dream you get to a place and you think that you had been here before. You may even meet people that you think that you know. You may be learning from them, and before you know, you realize you woke up, you are still on your bed. Who do you think is walking around? Who do you think is going from places to places and trying to learn different places and learn different languages or contacting different people? People you cannot even meet physically on this physical plane, or you have never met before. But in your dream, you can meet people, you can meet teachers, you can meet even people who will chase you. You can meet the dogs that want to bite you. But then that is in your dream. What do you think that those dogs that you are seeing in your dream are? Are they physical dogs? No, they are spirits. So your spirit body, which is your your inner self, is the one moving about. And is the one that is retracing certain routes and meeting people or overcoming some challenges and all the things. So if you can deal with your jobese or your inner self or your destiny properly in the proper way, you will not be wanting anything. Your life will be a happy life. The big sister Oluchi is saying, today I can write and ask much questions. Facebook is not playing with my writing or my questions. Peace and love, Papa. Yes, big sister, I am no more on Facebook. And I think that now they know that I am no more there. So anybody contacting me, they don't know that it is me, or they will know back. It's not like when I was on Facebook and always they have to restrict so many things, and they don't want me to talk, they don't want me to write things, because it seems like I am not following the general rule of the world, where lies and half truths are accepted. And if I want to straighten it up, then I am wrong. So they have not, they wanted to restrict me. So I decided not to be part of, personally, I don't have to be part of Facebook. And I think I am almost off, getting to 1 month now, and I'm not feeling anything bad. I'm okay. I think, is that the one that, okay, big sister Oluchi again say, Papa, since you told me about my story of crocodile and the fish, I understood a lot of things. I meditate a lot on it, Papa, and I thank you so much. I'm grateful. Peace and love, and I know I still have more to do, Papa. We all have more to do, big sister. I'm very happy for you that you are understanding it. You will be victorious. You will not fail. Thank you very much. No, the Facebook is start playing with you again. With us. Okay, let's go to YouTube and see. We have Bolaji Ali. Say hello, Papa. Happy Father's Day. I hope there are celebration waiting for you. Oh, Bolaji, thank you very much for that. Happy Father's Day to you too. No, man, I don't do celebrations. So the only thing I was thinking today is that I want to go to my patron deities, Togbe Akanyi and Togbe Jopata, so that I can go and pray at their shrines and say thank you to them for being such a great father in my life and in the life of my children too. That's what I was thinking, but there's nothing to celebrate. We look up to God for everything. We look up to our destinies for everything. He has brought us far. As I was saying, that Senna had graduated today from Yenqing Academy in Beijing, China, in his master's, this in, I think, international politics and economics and also herbal. This, I'm not very sure, but maybe I'm right. African Studies. Okay, graduated in African Studies, and he has written his thesis, and most of his professors really like what he has written. It's more very original. That's he's taken the path that nobody has taken, but then he has written sense. And this morning at dawn Ghana time, around 1:30 a.m. to 3, is it 3:30 or 2:30? Yeah, they did their graduation, and I watch online, and I'm very happy that he made it. So I have to thank the spirit deities that are in my life. They are like father figures to me, and they have guided me, and now they continue guiding my children too. So that's the only thing I am thinking to do. And then when my children and other students come, we will all decide and go to the shrine and thank them for their continuous guidance. And when you have a real spirit, that's how it works for you. It becomes like a father, it becomes like a mother. And if your essay is also properly set up for you, it acts like your father, it acts like your mother, and takes care of you. Not just imagining and reading and say you are praying to essay when you have not really done the proper way the AVs do. Essay is there. Everybody knows. We have names Sena, Sector, Seli, Seli, Sedinam, Sehonam, Sechuafia, Sebuabe, all say names. But even if they call you Sejiram and they have not set up a say for you, a say will not work for you the way you want it. So Bolaji say, Papa, can one use voodoo to treat people who have been impacted by trauma, like extreme violence perpetrated against them? Thanks. Yes, voodoo can do so many things, but before a voodoo can do anything, let's ask the voodoo, what is the root cause of the problem? Because you know that it is a trauma or there have been violence has been perpetrated against them. That's why they are having this. But there are also some people, same violence has been perpetrated against them, but they are not having any trauma. Or they are not having any sickness, depending on each and everybody's essay or mind. Some people have a strong destiny, some people do not. So when you want to do such healing, the first and foremost to do is to try as much as possible to find out what is the root cause of the problem. You know, certain people had gone to war and they went and shot people that they were not supposed to shoot, innocent people. But they call it war, and they kill these innocent people. The spirits of these innocent people that you've killed, they have not taken any arms against you, and you just took their life away. Their destinies will chase you, continue following you, and on the physical plane, it will only look like a sickness and mental medicine. What is it? PST? PTSD? Yes, these are the things that is happening. I had a cousin who went to Bosnia war during the Bosnia Herzegovina war, and he was in the police force. And he told me he went before going to the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina. There was a conflict in the northern part of Ghana, and he was also sent there. He told me one day they had a gun shot, and then they rushed to the place with their guns, he and his friend, and they saw this man who they suspected that he was the one who shot the gun. They rushed him, and the guy entered into his room. And in the northern part of Ghana, the houses are like round, circular, with a door, no windows. And the guy ran into the room. So they also chased him into the room with their guns. And when they went there, they didn't see anybody in the room. They only saw a wild boar, pig, lying on a mat. So according to my cousin, he is from my area. So it's the moment he saw that, the pig was there making noise. So moment he saw that, he came out from the room. Because there was no way that person could vanish if not spiritual, or turn himself into a pig. So he decided to get out, being smart. But his friend, coming from a different tribe in Ghana, just used his gun and started shooting the pig on the mat. And the next thing he realized that he just came out, threw his gun away, and he was crazy. He became mad on the spot. So when you go killing people who are innocent or whatever, and you don't know what kind of power they have, their spirits will chase you, and you will be having problem, and no doctor can cure you. No medicine, no physical medicine can cure you. Because the destinies, the set of such people will chase you, because you have shortened their life. So there are ways that voodoo and spirits can be used to treat people, but they must know the root cause of the problem by doing consultation, spiritual consultation, reading, or divination, as you may like, call it whatever you like. And then once that is found out, they will start to tell you what things should be done. It may not be just a day or two that the results will come, but they will come. Somebody get me some water. Get into my fridge. There's a water, a half water bottle in the fridge. So we have Ultimate Reader saying, Happy Father's Day, Papa. It's Cameron. Okay, hello, Cameron. How are you? It's been a while. Yeah, your mother came earlier. Thank you very much for joining the session. Blessings to you and anyone at AMT. Question to you: give alcohol to your loved ones who passed that never used alcohol while they were alive? Yes, I do. Once your loved one has become a spirit, you can give alcohol. You know, when I lost my son Christopher Jr. many years ago, in a road accident. I became devastated. I know the situation which you and your mother has found yourself, and I was so worried. I couldn't eat, couldn't do anything. I became so dormant in my life, and I decided that why do I have all these spirits and everything with me, and why should such thing happen? Unfortunately for me, I did not protect my son the way I should have, because I was looking at him like a sick child and a weak child. So we were just taking care of him. So uh, my that time my old man was still alive. So the mirror uh, told him that I am in a state that was so bad that they need to rescue me. So he called me, and then he called the spirit of my son, and then my son told me I should not continue mourning him. There's life to live. He came to do his part in my life, and he is gone. So I should remember his memory by praying and pouring libation. So from then, I had been pouring libation to him until today. When it became necessary, I pour alcohol for him because he's no more human. He's a spirit now. He's an ancestor. So you can pour liquor, alcohol, while you are praying or pouring libation for them. It does not stop them or anything because the alcohol energizes the spirits, and they become the ancestors, and they become more active. Thank you very much for that question. It's a very beautiful question, Cameron. Thanks a lot. My regard to everybody. Then Oluchi, big sister Oluchi, say, thank you very much. Say to you. And then we have Jane Tiffany Mamisawa Akofo. Papa, does your essay also determine who you should marry, just as it determines which career job is best for you? Yes. Yes, that's why the song goes. Menya wana, esendo, menya wana, evinwe jiji, elesegbo, esronwe dede, lesegbo, gapokpo, elesegbo, edeka jeje, elesegbo, etugbe jeje, elesegbo, menya wana, esendo, menya wana. What the song is saying is that to be able to work your destiny to be successful for you is not an easy task. To be able to have a good child or give birth to good children, it is your essence who determines. For you to have a good relationship, as in marriage and love, to get a good spouse, is your destiny. To give birth to children or good children is your destiny. To have, to be handsome or to be ugly, all is your destiny who determines them. It's your destiny that gives. It is destiny who gives good job. It's a great destiny who gives good career. It's destiny that gives you knowledge and wisdom. So if your destiny is not in a proper place, the people who are born ugly, they also have destinies. People who are born failures, they also have destinies. People who are not married, who cannot get husband, they also have destinies. And people who are not successful in anything, they also have destinies. So it is your destiny that will tell you how your life, it is the one that determines what life your life is and would be. If you know how to work your destiny properly, your destiny will work for you. You know, I call my son Senna. The name Senna is coming from the word ese and na. Ese being the job ese or destiny, and nunana mean a gift. When he was born, I had his name given to me by the Spirit that his name should be called Sena, gift from my destiny. So that's why I gave him that name, Sena. And he is working on it. I can see that it is expressing that in his life. So for you to give birth to a child, a good child, it is your destiny who determines. So if you know how to work your destiny properly, life is meaningful. It is only when you don't know how to work your destiny that's when life becomes meaningless. So Jane, it is true. To get a good husband, a good man, a good wife, a good woman, well, career, job, things that make you happy. It all depends on your destiny. Yes, let's go up. Jane Mamisawa again says, Sena is a genius. God bless him and keep moving him from grace to grace. Thank you very much, Mamisawa. I'm very grateful for that. And then big sister Oluchi also says, congratulations to Sena with great peace and love. Keep it up, Sena. Thank you all. Thank you very much, big sister Oluchi. I'm very grateful. Then Yayo is saying, Alafia, Alafia. Then we have Lastic saying, I say when I say Alafia, I say Nagode, right? Oh, Alafia and Nagode. It's more like thank you. Alafia, yes. Okay, it's Alafia, say Nagode. Thank you. So Lastic is saying, Papa, good afternoon to the family. I'm back like I never left. I traveled a while, like I told you before. I missed the whole family and glad to be back. I've been watching on YouTube with my different account but couldn't comment. Okay, Lastic, thank you very much for coming back and happy Father's Day to you. Thank you very much for coming back to join. I think we don't have questions on YouTube now. That's the last question. Okay. So thank you very much, Lastic. We are very grateful that you are back, and I'm happy to see you again. People on Clubhouse, everybody is so quiet as if you are not hearing me. Somebody should make some noise, please.
Hello, Papa.
Yes, Nuku.
Good afternoon, Papa.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, Papa. Congratulations on Sena and happy Father's Day too.
Oh, thank you all for your support all the time. And yeah, Sena is still a young man. He's trying, and I wish him all the best, just like all of you had wished him. Yeah, thank you very much. And happy Father's Day to you. Even if you don't have a child, maybe you are looking after your sister's child, or you are looking after somebody, or taking care of someone. So happy Father's Day to you, as long as you are a man.
Thank you very much.
You have
I had a small question.
Go ahead.
Is it possible to do a reading on behalf of somebody? How is that different from doing a reading yourself?
Okay. If you
Maybe somebody is sick or somebody may have a problem. You want to do a reading on behalf of that person. How is that different from doing a reading for yourself?
Okay, when you are doing a reading for yourself, you are using your own voice. and you are telling the oracle what you want to know with your voice. So the oracle will go behind the scene and then get all that is happening in your life to tell you. But you can still do a reading on behalf of somebody. It's just like you are asking the oracle a question that this person is sick. You mention the person's name, that it is not you who is sick, but this person in this location is in this trouble, and you want to ask the oracle what is happening. The oracle can still work on that. There is another way. If you don't want to use your voice in asking the question, then you may need to put the money under the pillow of the person, and the person sleep over it, because when the person sleep over it, the person's destiny, which is we are seeing in the dream, in the virtual world, which is a dream world, will come and then write all the information of what is happening to the person, what is the cause of this thing on that money, just like a laser print. So when that money is picked up without any other person's hands touching it, so no other person's vibration will interact with what the essay has written on the money or the information it has put on the money. Just like on a chip. Okay, when you put a small chip, there's so much information on that chip. You can't see it with your eye until you put it into a device that can read it. So now when you pick that money and we put it into the oracle is now going to decode and read what information the essay has written. And you can work on with that as well.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but sometimes because somebody is a Christian, even if they are dying, they were told that they are not supposed to seek any other help. They should just believe that they are going to die and go to Jesus Christ in heaven. Such people, you cannot even tell them that you want to put money under their pillow so that you want to find out about them. And they forgot that dead people do not worship God. That's why all the people in heaven that people are talking about that they are worshiping God, it's a lie. Dead people cannot worship God. It's only the living people that worship God. That's why we are coming here. Dead people do not worship God. Ask a dead person what his religion is, and you will see whether he know what to tell you. As I said earlier, a saint doesn't have a religion. Your destiny doesn't have any religion. It is the destiny is God on its own. It does not have a religion. Wherever it directs you, that's where you go. If you are born in a Muslim home, then it is that religion that it will adopt, because it has a purpose of sending you there. If you are born in a traditional home, that's what you will know. If you are born in a Christian home, then that's what you know. If you are born in a Hindu home or any other family, that's what your set directed you to go through that. But if the essay is looking for the truth, even though you may be born in that family, you will learn all those things, and finally you will break away looking for the truth. And you will use all these lessons that you have learned as tools to work your destiny. So people who do not want to do any reading or consultation to be able to know, there are plenty of them. So you can such people, you can do it on their behalf by you using your voice and asking questions to the oracle that this person needs help. But if you want to tell them, they will not accept. So you want to know what you should do for them to help them.
Okay, thank you, Papa.
You're welcome, Nuku. Okay, we have a comment from Mami Sawa Jane. It said, in Akan, you have to have lived to an old age to be an ancestor. Or this actually isn't so, or once someone died, they automatically becomes an ancestor. I just heard you say your son Christopher, who died young, is an ancestor. Yes, it is. You don't need to live an old age to be an ancestor, because you have become a spirit. Anytime any spirit, as a human being who has become a spirit, is an ancestor. Nobody in our culture ever says that you have to be an old person to be an ancestor. Never. Anybody who dies, whether even is a day old child, because the spirit is what we are after. It's not the physical body that the person has come into the world with. The soul, the inner self, the atma, the essay that the person came is what is the thing. There are so many children, babies, who has a lot of things with them before coming into this world. They had lived other lives before, and they came into this world. Some had been terminated in abortion. They are not able to be here, but they remain ancestors. So it is not only when you live to an old age before you can be considered an ancestor, because your spirit is older than the body in which it came into. Okay, I think we don't have so many questions anymore, so we'll be praying and close the section soon. Unless, of course, people give me questions, then I will continue.
Hi, Mr. Bokor. This is Zeal in Los Angeles. Can you hear me?
Yes, Zil, I can hear you. Thank you very much.
Hello. My question is, I kind of caught some of what you were saying about essay, but I didn't hear it from the beginning, so I was often confused. And excuse me. And also, I was doing something in my head that's probably not such a great thing to do, which is compare it to something else, which is the African American concept of soul. And I just wondered if you know about that concept and how you would compare and contrast the two.
Okay, I don't know much. I don't know about American concept of soul.
African American.
African American concept of soul, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know about the Hindu, the Hindu concept of the soul, the inner self, which is the Atma. I know about the Eve, which is the essay, and then I think the Akan they have it in Krabia and another thing. But the African American culture of the soul, I don't know. I don't know how they look at the soul. But I'm talking from the Ave cosmology and the Ave concept of the soul coming into back into the earth to be born as a child and then to go through things that the destiny has directed it to go through, and then when the time comes it leaves the body again, and the body is said to be dead, but then the soul never dies, or the inner self never dies, a cell never dies, atma never dies. So I don't know what is the black American concept of the soul.
I think it's very similar. From what I heard you say, I mean, I think that the way that you described it, there was more emphasis on destiny, and maybe kind of like, I'm not really sure if you were talking about a sort of reincarnation of the soul, but for sure it's the same in the sense of a person's kind of like spirit is their soul, and you're born with it, and then you die, and your body decomposes, but it still lives on. So that part is the same. But in the African American culture, the concept of soul extends in an aesthetic way to everything that a person or people can do to show their spirit. And so that's the soulfulness. It's like how people go about doing, singing songs or feeling feelings or, making food or dancing and other things. So that's what I wondered with essay, does it have an aesthetic component to it?
Okay, in the Ave cosmology, or in the Ave concept of the inner self or the destiny, or esse as we call it, or jogbese as we call it, it's one of the Trinity within the Ave cosmology of Godhood. There is a God, the Creator, God, the controller, and the God that make human being each as an individual. and that is what we call the Mau essay. That's why when we the incantation in the, the incantation and appellation to essay is essay joto ame joto, that which brings destiny and that which brings human being. Essay joto ame joto. Essay nanu ame. Essay would give you. Essay tienu ame or setenanu ame. Essay can also deny you. Essay amenyo, when your destiny is good or when your essay is good, you will also be a good person. Essegla amegla, when your essay is powerful, you too, you will become powerful. That is what the appellations and the incantations of essay in according to Ewe cosmology is. So whether it is up to what the American concept of Black American concept of the soul is, I cannot tell. But this is how it is said in Ewe culture, and the essay reincarnates many times. That's why in our culture sometimes they born a child and somebody will say, "Oh, this child is not a baby, even though it's a little boy, it's an old soul." What does that mean? That means this particular destiny or essay that is inside this little boy had lived before, because of the things that the child may be doing. That alone would tell you that this is not a child's kissing. But then there are some children, you know, they are children. They only want to eat and then pee and then eat and drink and just be playing. But there are some children, when they come into this world, they become very serious about everything connected to spirituality from childhood. And people in our
culture. That's interesting, because we call that an old soul in African American culture.
Yes, so how come it is an old soul if it has not lived before? So when they call somebody an old soul, that means that soul had been here before. And that means that destiny had passed through this earth at one time or maybe several times. And that its behavior and the way it does things become easier for them than we who are the new souls. And so most of these geniuses, you call genius, most of these people are very old souls. That's why at a very early age, they already demonstrate some talent, something that proves that they are not new. How do you explain that? Mm-hmm. So that is what we call essay. So in our Ewe cosmology, we believe in reincarnation.
Okay, now is there a separate word to describe a certain type of feeling that is put into other activities that reflects the soul or the essay?
I don't understand your question very well.
Yeah, it's hard for me to ask it. So the part of the most equivalent term that I can, but like I said, our concept of soul also includes how you do things, like how you do things that reflect your spirit or your soul. And so I think that what you're saying, as I'm speaking, I think that what you're saying is yes, because it includes the destiny part. However, I'm asking it more on a level of creativity and invention. Like, does it include like how you do things like dancing or singing or cooking, for example?
Why should it include? If you were a cook in your past life and you were a good cook in your past life, that will be written inside your destiny. So when you reincarnate again, you will show that in your life to at a very early age. And if you were good in singing or dancing or whatever in your past life, when you come into that, is also will be written in your current life. That's why we say that when you are born back here, you came back as an old soul because you had been here before. And then how do we know you are an old soul? Because of the things you do that other normal children cannot do. That makes the difference that you are not just ordinary. You might have learned these things somewhere before, but then you are a baby and you are just a child. Where did you learn these things from? It is written in your DNA. It is written in your essay. It is written on the chip that you came into this world with.
Okay, so I think that while I was listening to you say what you were saying, I was thinking that the part of the soul that we think of as the aesthetic part here in the United States for Black Americans is the representation of our Africanness, our essential Blackness. But I can see when I start thinking about that, that's probably not so necessary if you're in Africa and you're natively and you're born there, and so it wouldn't be as necessary. But like for us, since our ancestors came from Africa, it became important to retain certain things, and that's the word that is used to describe the retention of the concept of the spirit in a certain way, and also the aesthetics that are Black or African.
Yeah, maybe, but
You know what I'm saying?
but essay is not limited to only Africans. Essay is everywhere. It's a universal energy. Whether you are born an Indian or Arab or whatever, it is not only limited to African people. So it is not that you are black, then you have essay. If you are not black, you don't have essay. It is not like that. Everybody has an inner self. Whether you are black, you are green, you are yellow or indigo, everybody has destiny. So it is not a it's
So
not
do you have a term
it's not a
for
question.
that? I
It's
mean,
it
do you
is
have
not
one in a way for just
it
like
is
the Africanness or Blackness of what you do?
yeah, it is not the question of black people only. Every culture, in every culture there's a word called destiny. It's not
Okay.
it's not limited to black people or African Americans or Africans. It's a general thing that I am talking about. Because last time I spoke about a bodiless soul and a fetus. I don't know whether you follow that teaching. That when a soul dies or a body dies, the inner self, which some in Christianity or in religious you call soul, in our tradition we call it your jogbese, and the jogbese and soul is just the same thing, but then with a different way of calling it. When the bodiless soul is in where it has to be, and trying to get a chance to be born back into this physical world to continue where they left off. And then a man and a woman,
Okay.
a man and a woman have sexual contact, and then conception takes place. This fetus that is in the woman's womb, if it has a relationship or the vibrational wavelength with that, what do you call it, bodiless entity or soul or essay, then that will travel and come and enter into this fetus. And now that soul or that job essay or that essay or destiny that is being without body is now getting a body to be born and continue where they left off.
Okay.
So that's why we were talking
I
about.
think that
Go ahead.
mm, I think that the soulfulness that I was talking about when it comes to like aesthetic stuff, I think that talking to you makes me realize it's more Pan-Africanist than I ever thought. And it does apply to Black people, but it can also be used to describe how other people are doing things if it comes from a certain type of aesthetic, like a certain type of Black or African aesthetic that Black Americans can relate to and see the person is doing it with deep feeling and in alignment with our aesthetic. it's something for me to just, as an artist, to kind of like think about and ask around to some other people about their words for something similar, like the similar concept of signifying your culture and your spirit through how you do things, which is different than just your essay.
Maybe, but I'm talking from the AV concept, and then when I travel around the world, I have studied a lot of things from other cultures, and I don't see very much difference. Maybe in African American culture is different, but I've interacted with so many other cultures, and I don't see any difference in essay and whatever they were teaching. They have their own word for it, they have their own language, but then there is no difference in it. Maybe in African American culture it may be different because I don't know the African American culture or a concept of what the soul is. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a blend of what you said. It is for Evan, and also maybe like, because African Americans, for example, or people in the diaspora are a mix.
Sorry,
We're a mix. We're not
the
any
monitor will be
particular
going off.
one African culture. You know,
Yeah, but I'm trying to
and then
explain.
mixed with the Christian worldview,
Yeah,
European one.
I am trying to explain this not from a Christian point or not from African point or anything. It's a universal thing. It's not limited to black people or African Americans. It's a universal thing. Every culture believes and know, not only believe that know that there is something that is an inner self. So it is not an African American culture or an African culture, but this is the way we explain it in our language. But then when you go across other cultures, you see that they have. Why do you think that the Hindus,
Mm-hmm.
when the Hindus people die and they're going to do cremation, they have to crack the skull? What do they do? Because they want to let that spirit, that spirit of the one that was clothed by the human physical body to go. So I don't understand the African American concept, but what I am teaching is not only African concept. Of course, I'm teaching from the AV cosmological point, but it's a universal thing.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you too. Okay, we have a Mamisawa Akofo here, Jane, saying thank you, Papa. Thank you very much, Jane. And then again, Jane said, have a great evening. Thank you, Mamisawa. I'm very grateful. Thank you, and have a very good day. I think you are in daytime now in the US. We are still we are in the evening now. And then we have a thing refused to work. Okay. Yeah. Then we have Lustig is again saying Happy Father's Day to you, to Papa. Thank you very much. May the ancestors favor you all your lives. We are forever grateful for this. Thank you very much, Lustig. I'm very grateful. Thank you. And then big sister Oluchi also okay. Say even the animals have their destiny. Correct me, Papa. Yes, of course. Animals also have destiny. They all have destiny. Even plants have destiny. They may not be aware, or we human beings may not be aware how their destiny works. But I told you people before that plants can communicate with human beings. Recently, I had about a week ago, or yeah, I think a week or 10 days ago, I had this ornamental cactus that I had in my house, and it has been with us for a long time, almost 3+ years. And sometimes it make flowers, and then some part of the cactus will die. And then one time the whole cactus was dying. It remained a very little one. So I tried to nurse it and put some manure and everything, and then it grew and became very big and beautiful. And it has not yet made a new flower. But it's like my daily routine every day before I leave the house. I give it some small water, and then I left. So one evening I came back and I see that one of the cactus was like falling off there. I'm talking about an ornamental cactus that was in just a small bowl. So I saw one part of it because of the weight, it was falling down. So I went and used a rubber band to hold them all together. And I was telling myself, okay, I'm going to get a bigger pot and put you inside. And then I can feel the cactus was telling me that I should move it away from where I was keeping it because otherwise the dogs will disturb it. And then where it was, usually dogs will not go to do anything. And I had that feeling so strongly. So I said, okay, then I'll move you tomorrow morning into the room. I said it in my mind. By early morning when I woke up, the dogs have carried the cactus, they carried the ceramic pot and went and broke it and destroyed the whole cactus. And then I just felt so sad, and I even until now I am not happy because it's about 10 days now, but I'm not happy because it told me that they are going to destroy it, so I should move it. And I thought I was just listening to myself or something. I could have just worked. My instincts didn't really work for me quickly, so that I could just think that this is it. I should have moved it, and there was nothing wrong. I could have moved it without any problem, but I guess so. I just put a rubber band and say, okay, I'll move tomorrow. I'll get a bigger pot and all this. And that night, my dogs, I have some very stupid dogs in my house. They only like disturbing things. So they just took the flower pot and broke the pot, something that dogs don't do. But they did. And then I realized that the cactus told me, but I didn't listen. So if they don't have spirits, how could he be communicating with me? So you see, it is we human beings always think that we are the only ones who are supposed to be here on this earth. We don't pay attention to anything, and we just live our life destroying any other things on our way. And now that global warming and other things are catching up with us, we are thinking of going to space. We are thinking of all kind of things. But if we could have lived in harmony with nature and understand nature and understand that trees and plants, animals and everything are also beings, have their own souls, that they are on the journey or the ladder of climbing to become human being one day, as their souls change from one body to another body, we would have all lived in peace. But human beings, because of religion, we always believe that human beings are above anything and God has made us to control other things, and we just destroy in nature by destroying, we are destroying ourselves, but then we thought we are destroying nature. So, yes, big sister Oluchi, you are very correct. Animals and even plants, they have destiny. Then we have Van Perico here. Hello, Papa. The souls attribute that the lady on Clubhouse is asking about more connected to ancestral lineage and not about any type of soul. Hello, are the soul attributes that the lady on Clubhouse is asking about more connected to ancestral lineage and not about any type of soul? I'm not very sure about Zeus, whether she's attributing them to ancestral lineage or as just souls. But you see, one thing when it comes to destiny or a set, you may be born in this family today, and this is your ancestral lineage. When you have an opportunity to be born again and you are lucky to be born in the same family, that family continue to be your ancestral line. But sometimes you can also be born in a different family. And that family that you are born into is become your ancestral line. Your destiny chooses where you should go to, depending on the way you work here. When I was a young boy in my village, I've not even come to Accra, being the city of Ghana. I had always felt that I once lived in India. I didn't know why, because sometimes some smells will come into my nostrils or in my memory, and then I felt that, oh, this is cremation, that people are cremating human beings or dead bodies. And in my village, there's nobody had been cremated anybody before, and I have not even read so much books at that age about cremation or whatever. But somewhere within me, I felt that there is something happening somewhere I had been before. Until I grew up, and then finally, yoga and Hinduism became something that appealed to my inner self, and I followed it so strongly. And finally, I ended up in India, and I ended up in Varanasi, the holy city of India, and I was taking my training there. And sometimes we go to the Ganga Ghat, where they burn dead bodies. And I have seen how bodies are being cremated. But then I had this concept from my village in Ghana, in the village in the Volta region. How come? So when I was in India, I didn't really feel like I was a stranger. I could easily blend in, and people were, even though I'm a black person, people accepted me easily because I could easily blend in with this. And that's why I was able to teach Hinduism and Sanskrit and all these things to even Indian people, all the way to Malaysia and Singapore. It's not my religion. I had never been born a Hindu or into any Hindu family. I never had anything. But when I went to the training and I came out, I could teach well. Even at the training center, I could still explain Sanskrit, how things work to people, and it could even be understood well by the Indians. So human, our inner selves, our souls, our destinies, our self has its own journey. Whatever I am doing here today is what I am supposed to come and do here. That's why I'm doing this. A time will come, this body will fall off, and I may not come back as an African. I may be sent into a different place, and I'll be born in a different family lineage, and that will be my lineage, and I'll pray to my ancestors on that line. So long as I came through their bloodline, I'll pray to those ancestors, wherever it may be, I don't know. But then I am working in this life so that my next life will be a better one than this. Then we have our sister Vivian Bakar saying, greetings, Papa and the AMT family. Thank you very much, Vivian. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. We've been on it for a while. And then Mami Sewa, Mami Sewa Akofo is saying, oh, I'm even sad about the cactus. So sad. Yes, yes, yes. Even until now, I'm not myself because it has spoken to me and I didn't listen. And just the night that he told me to move it, it is that night that the dogs disturbed and destroyed it. So my dogs are crazy dogs. That's why Big Sister Oluchi say even if they go to space, they will still destroy the peace, the peace and place. So yes, peace and love, Papa. Thank you. So it's sometimes you'll be thinking that you are crazy, but nature speaks to you. Nature speaks to you. It's only for you to be attentive and listen carefully. Nature is always speaking to us. You have to be so sensitive in order to pick those waves, even from plants. And I think one guy sent me an audio message on my WhatsApp this morning. Yeah, it was this morning or last night that he was walking in the bush and then he felt that some herb called him. And then he went and picked the herb and smelled it. The moment he smelled that herb, his memories went back to his childhood when he had chicken pox all around his body, and the grandmother used that very herb, mashed them, and was bathing him and giving him to drink. So immediately he smelled the smelled the herb. His memory went all back to his childhood. But then the grandmother is no more alive and nobody is alive. But then he realized that this herb is something I know. Then he went to a friend who is also a herbalist, and then he saw the same herb with that guy. He has grown it in his house, and then he said, "What is this herb?" And then the guy told him the name, and then he said, "I think I know this herb." And later, what he told me in the audio message is that one night he was sleeping around 1 or 2 a.m. Then he just the memory of the plant came, and then before he could realize, he started seeing the grandmother's face, and that continued. He started crying, and the grandmother was telling him that that herb, he could use it to do a whole lot of things for cleansing, for if somebody is sick, and also sometimes he could put it inside on his neck and then wear his t-shirt on top so that nobody will notice it, for protection. And that herb, sometimes he can even put it into his pocket for protection. So if herbs don't have consciousness, how would this happen? Even if herbs don't have consciousness, why do they send their roots to look for manure? Why don't they send their roots in the different direction? Why did they send it to looking for where the manure is to be able to feed them? Have you ever thought about it? Nature is always speaking. It is only up to us to listen. Where is it? I don't know how to read. Who? Tunisia Christian. I'm what? I'm an avid gardener.
Hi.
Yes, is that is it a Tunisia Christian?
Yes, it is.
Okay, please go ahead with your question.
So I also put my question in the clubhouse chat just because I don't want to butcher the name of the herb. But I am an avid gardener, and this year I came across the herb. I feel like I'm gonna mess it up if I mispronounce it, but it's essentially basil. Enzii, And apparently, when I purchased the seed, it said that it was a seed or a strain of basil used primarily in the is it Ewe or Ewe tribe.
Eve is called
So I just
that herb.
wanted to
That
kind of
herb,
get her thoughts.
yeah, that herb is called ahame. Ahame, Ahame. It's a kind of basil leaf, but it is used for spiritual purposes. There are the five. It's one of the five fundamental Ewe voodoo herbs. We call them the five fundamental herbs in voodoo. It's a kind of a basil, and it is called ahame, and it's a very powerful herb. It communicates. So go ahead with your listen.
Thank you. Are there any sort of recommended uses for that
There are
particular
so
herb?
there's so many recommended uses for that particular herb. When it depends on what you match them with. There are some other herbs that can match it. You match it with other herbs, and it creates a pot of an energy, and the spirit can start to communicate through that pot.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you too. Because the one moment you start speaking about it, I know what you were trying to talk about.
And also, I just wanted to say, I recently came across your interview on ancestral voices, and I think it was recorded over a year ago, but I just came across it, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago. So
Hmm.
I was certainly surprised to see you here on Clubhouse, and I'm also a follower of your YouTube channel, and I just wanted to say thank you for all the great content.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. Do we have any question on YouTube again? No, no more questions there. Anything on Zoom? No, nobody there today. Okay, so I think Facebook is done, YouTube is done, Zoom is done, and we only have a Clubhouse, so we have only about 5 more minutes to go. So please, if anybody have any question, ask me quickly so that I can close today's session. Today is Father's Day. I want to rest. Okay, so I will use this opportunity to again invite you people home and abroad, here and there, that on the 30th of this month, June, we'll be doing a mid-year rituals for the deities and the spirits, the voodoos, the entities that we are working with. People may call them spirits, people may call them voodoo, people may call them entities, people may call them divinities. Whatever you call them, they are bodiless beings, and we are working with them for so many years now, and they have been very truthful and faithful to us as the work we do here in everything. Uh, I'm not sure, or I don't know whether we will be able to transmit that rituals on Zoom, maybe, because there will be killings of animal and rituals being done, and songs and prayers being done. I don't know whether on Zoom, if you kill animal, it's also against the rules, just like on Facebook. I don't know. So we will find a way. If we are able to get enough data, we'll be able to run some Zoom parts for people to see. And those of you who may want to do ancestral feeding, the group ancestral feeding that we usually do every year between in June and in December, if someone who is ready to do that, please, we put out the information out there. You can contact us and we will do it on your behalf. But then, if you are not interested to do it, you can still watch us as we do it during the festival. We'll also be doing witches ritual as well, to feed the witches so that they leave us alone, so that our lives can progress, and we will not have hindrances in our life. That's how our ancestors have done it, and we are continuing. But then we are using scientific and logical approach in what we teach here and what we do here. We don't just do things because it was done before. We study it and we see that it is working, then we do. And I'm thanking all of you for joining today's section. And we are very grateful and hope that next week, what is the date of next week, Sunday? Next week, Sunday is the 26th. Okay, so we will be doing, and then next week, Sunday is 26. So okay, that we will be here again. Maybe that day we will start some of the rituals. We will start before, but then we will also do some on that day. So we will let you have some preview of whatever we are doing. So thank you all for joining section. I'm very happy that we are all sharing and learning from one another. Spirituality is an individual affair. It's not a group thing. Each and every one, whatever you learn from here, you will use it for yourself. Okay, I've seen. You use it for yourself. It's not a group thing like religion where you have to be in a group before you worship God. God came here with you and you alone. And if you know how to deal and work with that God, your life will be a happy life. It is when you don't know where you are going, that's when you will be getting missing. But if you know where you are going, you will just follow the map and get to where you are. Thank you all for joining today's session. May the gods and the ancestors continue blessing all of you, give you life, and strengthen you in everything that you are doing. And may they also open your mind so that you can understand what the purpose of your life is, and stop running around in a circle. Life has a purpose. It is only that because we don't know the purpose, that's why we are running, or we were running in a circle. The moment you know the purpose of your life, you don't have to be running in a circle anymore. Thank you, and thank you very much. And we have our sister Vivian Bakar in the USA. Happy Father's Day, Papa. Wishing you healthy life and long life. Thank you very much, my dear. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Vivian. And I'm wishing you long life and health too. Thank you very much. Lamin Khan, I'm not, put this one back onto the normal clubhouse. So that, okay, is that it? Okay, is it? I don't know. I'm not a technical man. Okay, now, fine. Thank you. So I'm going to pour the libation, and then we will leave today, and then hope that I'll see you all next week. And Big Sister Oluchi also okay saying, he say, and same to you. Thank you very much for being a great support and a big sister. I'm very grateful to all of you for joining and helping make this daily and weekly. Oh, you put me off. Okay, I was saying the big sister Oluchi was say, but then I think people on the clubhouse, the mic was mute, so you couldn't hear me. And I'm thanking her and being a very great support to me and a big sister. And to all of you who had been part of this today's Califisha, Cameron, and everybody that have been on today's session. I'm very grateful, and happy Father's Day to all of you and all the fathers on this revolution platform and Africa Magic Temple Clubhouse, and also the women, our mothers who are playing the role of men. I'm saying happy Father's Day to all of you. May the ancestors continue to strengthen you, open doors for you, open up your mind so that you can understand the path, your path in this life, the reason why you are here, and the path you have to take so that you will not be perambulating, going out around in a circle. Because when you don't know where you are going, that is only when you get missing. But if you know where you are going, there is no way you can get missing. And the problem is that most of us, we did not know where we were going until we found our African route. And if you find your African route properly in the correct place, you will not go around in a circle anymore. We have on YouTube user Shadi. Papa, can one put alligator in his joker bottle to empower it before he use it? I don't know. A person who give you joker should be able to tell you whether you can put in and what you cannot put in. If I give you joker, I will tell you what to use it, how to use it. So me answering that question whether you can put attack into a joker. I don't know alligator pepper into joker. What kind of joker is it? Is it a joker that uses alligator pepper? And who gave it to you? How do you get to know it? I don't like teaching people when they just read things or listen to things and create things by themselves. The person who taught you the joker should be able to give you the idea uh, whether you should use atakwi or not. Atakwi is alligator pepper is called atakwi in our Ewe language or aduve. If the person who introduced you to the joker must be able to tell you the things that the joker will do, how to use the joker for your benefit, and the things that will join together to make the joker. So, user Shaggy, please contact the person who introduced you to the joker and ask them what you should put in and what you shouldn't put in. Thank you very much. Oh, I go, mauga, so body sama do go. Mauga, kitty kata, na do go. Yo mauga, ese joto, ame joto, ese na anu ame, sete anu ame, omana febi, dokuna febi. Omana febi maybe anu dokuna febi, dokuna febi maybe anu omana febi ugbe, seni me yo. Yo she me ham for a show, semi for a show, pete do go, ya braxis, me yo zi andre ko do go, yo tadre to bi mu ko. Wo verse, attend verse, kam ya mu do go. We me yo me na so je, anyi do so kaka chika zi go andre. Me ala fa ba nya blo mi api we nya go jiri hono me yo ra kekelo. Wenya yingba manjo flo fa kla yingba manjo adika. Wenya bli me matekulu etega. O me yo di fa nu poto me yo kele me nu poto. Me yo za nu poto awudi da fa me chi aba gble wo pe vi o ada pe. Me yo ra ke. E me yo to gbe ahun gba to me gba vodo to ra hwe bu me ya za pasa di ku nyo hoto ko shi nyo hoto kere e me yo to be da ma ye be kan ado nu basa bo ko no be ji ma le nu po me godo le nu po lo me yo ape ja pe po godo sa gba ja po vi po no me yo mi o keke me yo fa na go nu fa bo ma je so pe to me so le me da pa gidi me yo po gbe meji ku meji wole meji di meji lo so meji mali meji abla meji akla meji guda meji sa meji ka meji trup meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji pol che tula me tre bo vi mu po to ba do bu am to ba de ande mo ko ni ji do ko le bo vi me no sia te pe gbe to che da wu la me se kla gbe di me bi na sia I ask for good health and long life for everybody, and may your everything that you are doing be fulfilled, meant to be fulfilled, and may the ancestors and your destinies open the doors for you so that you can realize what is truth and what is lie, or what lies are and what truth is. It is only through that you can really get to uh, where you want to get to. So may your destinies open your inner eyes so that you can see the difference between truth and lies. That's what Tobo Jokata said, that the truth and lies had always been here before human beings came here. But if your eyes are not open to what is truth and what is lie, you will never know. So I'm praying that your inner eyes should be open so that you can know the difference between what is truth and what is lie, so that you can follow the path that your destiny brought you here to follow. May you all have a very fruitful and a successful week. Thank you. And there is a user Said was saying, Papa, he said anything that can be eaten, he is dead. The person is dead. Okay. Maybe you, okay. Please get me on user Shadi. Get me on YouTube, WhatsApp, and then break it down for me what exactly he made for you. Now you are saying that the person is dead, so there's no way you could go to him and ask him to teach you again. But then when we communicate on WhatsApp, I will be able to know what you have and then probably give you some idea. Thank you all, everybody who has contributed and be part of today's section. May the ancestors continue blessing you all.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much, Zil.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.